Welcome to the Call to Cinema. My name is Aaron. I'm here with May to December Malcolm. I got to get like an adminium, like an extra addition onto my opening when I got you in here, so they know that
Yeah.
you're
Some
like,
people
hey,
know I'm here.
it's kind of like Pinky and the Brain and Larry.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, but I could go with that. As long as you're the Pinky and I'm the Brain, I'm happy.
Oh man. So Criterion announcements. I decided to go in blind this time. I haven't looked, haven't had a chance to. I watched X-Men episode 10. I won't say anything because I know a lot of people haven't seen it.
Is that the final episode of this season?
Yeah. Hey, Alan, welcome, man.
It's been great so far. It's been great so far from what I've been able to catch up on. Hey.
It is fantastic. It's a wonderful season. It keeps getting good. Hey, Brandon, welcome in. I was wondering what the Trellis thing was. I was like,
I was wondering what that was about. I thought that was like German or something.
But what I want to do is I'm going to be doing a video in the future with I want to talk about the X-Men, and I'll give like the episodes. I'll give a better reading thing so you can do if you like the episodes. So that's in its works. For those that are wondering where I've been at, well, for Malcolm's been getting ready to do a move.
Hey, look at all this, guys. Look at all that. Whoa.
Yep.
That's not even half of it.
And me, I have been studying. Hey, Kubrick, welcome, man. Oh, thanks for sending me the links, by the way. I've been studying on editing and writing and animation, and that's been my thing. I'm trying to make the channel as good as I can, and I just got over, but I'm not sure if you watch or not, or if you watch him, Malcolm. Movie Timelines is one of my favorite YouTubers. So if anybody wants to know like a YouTuber that I watch, it's Movie Timelines. Like a lot, he does like a lot of good.
You've mentioned quite a lot recently, especially when you were doing the Halloween videos and that, because you said that kind of inspired it.
It did, and like he does like this dead last thing, which is where my whole like the ranking ones that I do, like completely comes from, and it's kind of so he did a video today because he's gone back to work like full time, and he's still gonna be doing his videos, but obviously that changes things, and a lot of the way that his channel is structured and the type of guy that he is, Hins looks at him and says, you know, that reminds me of you. That like if there's a YouTuber out there that's big that reminds me of you, that reminds me of you.
And he looks like you too.
No, it looks nothing like me. God, it's way more handsome than. Rest in peace, Roger Corman is right. I was going to do a video for Roger Corman, but unfortunately, Roger Corman passed on Mother's Day, and I figured nobody would be.
Where's the taboo? Where's the taboo video? I was like, it's Mother's Day, and there's no taboo video. I was like, guys,
you know, I've been editing that video for over a year. It's not just Taboo though; it's like Taboo and it's another film. What's the other one?
Taboo American Style. Taboo the Taboo. All of them.
There was another one that I put with it. It was called Twisted. Like, was it Just Frank one? I think. Yeah, it was Island of Lost Women. And it was kind of like Twisted Mother's Day.
Kubrick, I'm actually moving to Newfoundland in Canada to live with Alan's dad. He adopted me, and now I'm moving in with them. You know,
I want to give.
No, I'm moving 9 miles down the road, so not too far away.
I have to give a quick shout out because super appreciated this, and just give me a sec.
Yeah, I'm going
because I just got a just before I came on here actually, I was sent a kind of a super a shout out, a super shout. So somebody gave I wish I could find the name. I do apologize. I'll find out for next time, but gave like a little donation to the channel. So thank you so much. If you're out there, I really appreciate it. But let's go right to this. I'm actually really curious because I have no idea for Criterion for that month of August. I got it put up here, but I haven't gone in. So are you ready? Do you know anything, any at all, or are you going in blind like me?
I only know about Last Emperor because Kubrick mentioned it, but I just want to answer this quickly before we start.
Okay.
It's been very stressful. It's been very stressful, Kubrick, because we didn't get the boxes till a week before the move. We don't know when the movers are coming yet on Friday. And I filled up, I kid you not, 176 boxes full of just media. Very stressful indeed. So yeah, but yeah.
How many times did Donna look over at you and say, "You got to cut down, man"?
She looked at me and was like, "You do understand this means you've got a problem." I mean, I was lucky. Alex, comes in here sometimes. He came around a couple of times and helped me pack. So at least that helped cut down the tedium of it. But yeah, it's not too bad.
All right. So I am going to situate this.
All right.
All right. But yeah, I think moves are stressful, man.
They can be, definitely.
August titles announced.
Okay, let's see. What titles are there?
All right, let's go back. Oh, there's one. So, okay.
Risky Business. Right?
Okay, there's 5 titles in total. So let's go to the first one. Brief Encounters, The Long Farewell, 2 films by Kira Muratova. Ukrainian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I feel like I've seen Brief Encounters, but I'm not sure if I've seen The Long Farewell. What about you?
I think I've seen Brief Encounters, because I think this was the prequel to Brief Encounters of the Seventh Kind.
1967, 1971. I was born 71. 2 Blu-ray set.
4K remaster.
Interesting.
Brief Encounters sounds familiar. It does, but then saying that, it's quite a basic name, so it could be. Yeah. Moved twice in the last 2 years and do not want to move anytime. I don't think anyone wants to move Kubrick at all. I've moved twice in 3 years because I moved from America into a hotel, then into a hotel from here to here. Now I'm here to fucking,
Hey there, right?
Hey, right.
Yeah, this looks interesting. This is the type I would pick up. I love the artwork on this cover. It's just kind of like this collage.
Yeah, it feels like a scrapbook.
Yeah, so cool. I love the scrapbook. Like, greatly unheralded.
I jump on this because when Vinegar Syndrome release foreign releases like Iranian and that, and like Israeli and all these kind of ones, I always find them the most fascinating because
they usually are, man. That's so true. Berlucci's Last Emperor, beautiful film. I'm going to be honest, not my favorite.
Ooh.
Gotta be honest.
Have you watched the extended version?
Yes, but shortly after it came out, not since. Okay, and I think that it was the extended version, which was the reason, which I kind of because I go through certain periods of time when I'm perfectly fine. That's not the movie, right? It's me. Yeah. Where I'm okay with watching like 2 hour and about a 3 hour long movie. But it is fantastic features. But sometimes I'm just like, I want to watch something shorter.
Yeah.
I want nice bite-sized pieces. For those, I guess I'll mention it here now. And we booked our tickets for our Christmas vacation in October, and we're going to Italy.
Whoa!
So got a bit of traveling there. We're going to be traveling through different areas of Italy. We're going to end up in
me and Aaron are going to be in Italy. We booked the tickets because that's what he just said. He said we booked the tickets. No, him and Hint are going to Italy, just in case people wonder. Okay.
But it should be fun. It's not going to be a media trip. I promised my better half I was going to give her a proper vacation. We're not going dropping.
I think that's needed.
Yeah. So we're going to be like exploring the food. The only caveat is she said I can go to Profondo Rosso in Rome. So hopefully
That's
Luigi
going to be
Cosi is
great.
there.
That's going to be
Um,
great.
Now that is not a movie store, by the way. There's no movies in Profondo Rosso, but it is a great kind of like wax museum area for like a lot of Argento's films, and there's some books and stuff there as well, and like merchandise.
You can actually buy the gloves there, like proper gloves and stuff, that kind of thing.
That I would buy. That I would buy. So I told her I'm saving to get spend something there. I know Lucio Cosi wrote a few books, like on Argento films that are exclusive to that store.
Nice.
And they're in English.
Hope to get some pictures.
Yeah, some video too would be nice. Now this looks gorgeous. I love this cover.
That's beautiful cover. I actually feel like with this month, from what I've seen so far, that they've gone back to the old style of Criterion covers, which always were more of a draw instead of the basic kind.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say the old style like Criterion releases, and I was going to say, yeah, you're right. But in both cases, you're right. This, because I feel like I'm at a point, Malcolm, and I'll say this right now. Oh, the pizza there is completely different, man. But I'm not sure if I want to go there for pizza. Now, ragu and different types of pasta, yes.
You haven't had Italian pizza until you've had it from an Italian person. When I was in America, there was an Italian restaurant, proper Italian restaurant. It wasn't like, people running an Italian restaurant. They were proper Italian. So when you ordered pizza, it was like off the charts different. So like if you got Pizza Hut or Domino's, and my word, it was phenomenal.
There was a restaurant in somewhere around London that was done by like an Italian couple. I'm not sure if it's there anymore, but I remember going there and just we stumbled upon it, and it has like, and you knew it was like the real stuff because it was really super thin, right?
Yeah,
and kind of like because like it's always sliced like in North America, but it's not always over in Italy. You can go get pizzas and you eat them with a knife and fork. So depending on what you're having to get, there's different types of bread, bruschetta and stuff like that. So I'm really looking forward to it. So I'm gonna be watching a lot of Giallo films. So you may see a lot of like Italian Giallo content in the near future. I got a couple like Giallo ideas for this channel actually.
So what are we gonna say you got tired of?
I got tired of not feeling challenged. And I think it all started with Criterion in that it was an insanely like a movie I could not wrap my head around.
Yeah.
And when I was watching it, I was talking to you. And I'm like, what the hell am I watching? Like, what is this? Like this makes no sense. And I couldn't get it in my head. And afterwards, I tried to watch. What was I trying to watch? Just a regular film. And I'm like, I can't. I've got to watch something different. I've got to challenge myself a little bit. I would love to meet Dario Argento. I would love to meet like Zia Argento.
I don't know. If someone says to me, who would you rather get off with? Boy, Dario.
Dario? You mean like
no? Sorry, Daria. If she was still alive, Daria, not Dario. No, you know you know her mum. You know her mum.
Oh, she was beautiful.
If she was still alive,
gorgeous, and absolutely like her mind was. Oh, this is
she's part of the reason. She's part of the reason, but but Daria was so good because they had great chemistry and the great, together. I mean, on the.
I think that his best written stuff was when she was working with him.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
This is gonna be a dark title.
I wonder if they're gonna release this over here because they never say until the last moment.
Molly Haskell, like essay. Yeah, I'm Old-Fashioned Woman, and a documentary by Coolidge about her grandmother. I want that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm in the when I was raised with my grandparents, and both my grandparents are passed away, and I miss them. So yeah, that's actually kind of cool. Albert Brooks. I think now that we've kind of fallen out of love with a certain director who's come across as super creepy. You know we're not talking about, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Mr. Allen.
I know you're talking about.
Miss Woody Allen. I think that we're starting to get a renaissance of Albert Brooks, who is the
Which is great.
non-creepy version, right? And it's great because Albert Brooks
Yeah.
is so underrated. Hey there, Matty. Welcome, man. Podcast.
Oh, we got a podcast done. Nice one, Matty. Glad to hear it.
Of Iranian movies. Oh, nice. Charles Grodin, Francis Lee McCain. Look at this beautiful cover too. This is very much
Lovely,
like,
isn't it?
it is a Norman.
So these
Rockwell.
ones are covers for you'd see in the store when you were getting Criterion. You go, I have to pick this up. This draws me in. This makes me want it. Not those basic covers that were around for so long, lately.
This, with the letter K, right?
Yeah, exactly. So boring.
But I love Brooks. I really do. And if you're a fan, and you feel like lost in like because Woody Allen now creeped out after that documentary, I get it. Brooks is a great replacement.
Oh, it wasn't yours, mate. I'm sorry to hear that. I thought it was your one.
And you can definitely kind of what's the word? Remove both. And
How
Mothers.
dare you, Kubrick? How dare you like Polanski? How dare you?
I actually think Woody Allen is creepier than Polanski.
What?
And I like his films, but I think holy crap.
Yeah.
Yes, Mother. I'm excited with this one. I don't like the cover.
That's not Kubrick. Am I messing?
I don't like the cover. It seems to me.
Yeah, it's for basic.
Especially since for the other ones we've seen, I get it, and it's wonderful to see Debbie Reynolds in here. Rob Morrow's in this, right? I think he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, I was a fan of God. What's the name of that show he was in? Come on, guys. The Northern Exposure.
Northern Exposure, was it?
Yeah. That's the original poster.
That's the original poster.
That's why I don't like it. I think
that's what makes it more lazy.
That's like when they did the stuff like the John Hughes stuff, right?
Yeah.
I kind of like when they do their interpretations of it.
Yeah, that's what I like.
It's like when, I guess the best way to put this is when you think of a director and the name Criterion, who comes to mind right away?
Akira Kurosawa.
Okay, more modern director.
A modern director.
Yeah.
Federico Fellini.
So if somebody said that they're getting into Criterion,
Ingmar Bergman,
and they're said they're going to watch Criterion stuff, there's usually a name that comes to mind normally, and it's let me show you.
It's gonna be someone on. It's gonna be someone obvious, isn't it?
It is really obvious, actually.
Pasolini. Until recently, there wasn't a lot of Pasolini. Was there on Criterion Blu-ray? Until that box set.
I love some Pasolini though. I just mentioned Ethereum right there. Though Pasolini is challenging, and I don't always like his stuff.
Very challenging. Very, very challenging. I think with Pasolini, you have to watch his films a few times to really understand them.
Let's do it here. What's the name of the movie again? Oh my God, I'm blanking on the name.
Oh, I know you're talking about. You're talking about the guy who did Wes Anderson.
Yes, thank you. I was going to pop the title to see if you could see. So basically, when they do his movies, 9 times out of 10, his brother does the cover for the Criterion titles. Because he did Bottle Rocket, they put Bottle Rocket out and stuff like that.
Boy Rocket.
I love Bottle Rocket.
Bijou or something.
Which one?
Bijou Shop or something. I don't know. Moonrise Kingdom, was that one?
There's a Moonrise Kingdom. Yeah, there's a whole bunch like Wes Anderson. Whenever you ask somebody, that just got into Criterion, what they picked up, that's what it is.
Bijou Limited.
There you go. We got Bottle Rocket, Life Aquatic, Fantastic Mr. Fox, Moonrise Kingdom, Rushmore. So out of these here, I've got Raw Tenenbaums. I don't yet have Grand Budapest Hotel. Do we have Darjeeling Unlimited? We really like this movie. I don't think we got it. We got Rushmore. We got Bottle Rocket, of course. Life Aquatic, we got like everybody has.
Out of all of them, I own none of them.
You have none of them?
No,
Not even Rushmore?
I've seen them. Don't get me wrong, but I haven't. I don't own them.
One of the first movies I ever bought was Criterion. I didn't know it was Criterion, and this is years before I met my better half actually, and it was the Royal Tenenbaums,
Ooh.
and it had that like weird cover. And I'm like, I got to pick this up. But after we got together, and I started like I think my first Criterion was the Titanic one, Night to Remember, the best Titanic film. But when we started buying stuff, one of the first things that we navigated towards was some of the Wes Anderson stuff because it was more of the modern stuff, was some exciting watch.
I get that.
I get what Ryan's saying, like overstyle versus substance as well. Welcome back, Kubrick. But I like him. I really do. I think that for me, Wes Anderson has like I think any director can like be accused of that to an extent, right? Like if you're watching any director that has style, like Neil Breen's never going to be accused.
I think it depends. I think it really depends on because you remember everybody sees movies differently.
Of course.
And after a few different watches, you see them differently. So I think sometimes you can go in the cinema, you watch a movie, you can think it's great, you can think it's overstyled, you can whatever, badly acted, whatever you think. And maybe years later you watch it again and you go, you know what, this actually fits this period. This actually fits that. Fits this. It's a very weird kind of system because there's movies I've absolutely hated and then I've absolutely loved years later. Very strange.
Have Albert and Mel worked together? Has Albert Brooks worked with Mel Brooks? Actually, have they worked together? They must have done something together.
They're probably early in the career.
No, they're not related. But do you know who Albert Brooks is related to?
Yes.
You can say it.
No, I'm gonna let you say it.
Super Dave Osborne.
Yep.
I'm from Canada, and Super Dave is massive over here.
Hey, Film Watcher.
So, Super Dave, there's a Canadian show can just come on called Bizarre, and Bizarre is where Super Dave started at. It was a segment come on Bizarre, and it was a Canadian comedian. It's really, really good show. So that was Foster Effects. But yeah, Super Dave. His name's not really Osborne. I think something else. Look at this stuff they're releasing in the next few months. Look, we got Risky Business here, Black God, White Devil, Farewell My Concubine. Beautiful film. Great film.
Incredible film.
Wim Wenders.
Blue Velvet 4K.
I didn't finish my statement before what I was going to say, and because you know me, I think what I love about people like buying Wes Anderson when they find Criterion is I think that some people find Criterion because of Wes Anderson or because Criterion has a name, but they go from there and then they start loving other things like the experiment. Okay, I like the Wes Anderson movie. I'm going to pick up the Fellini film. I'm going to pick up this here Bergman film. I'm going to get this Kurosawa film. I'm going to pick up like this Jim Jarmusch film, which you should get everything, by the way, that is by that director.
It's funny you say that because I know many years ago, Criterion was kind of like this like untouchable media for a lot of people because there's nothing on it but I'm going to watch because they just looked at, the majority. So you're probably right. By seeing Wes Anderson stuff, they're like, okay, there are things I can watch. And I do think over the years, they have become more like mainstreamable for people, to get into things that are not completely mainstream, but are mainstream enough for people to go, oh, okay, well, watch this, then pick up maybe that risky thing, like you said.
It's true.
Somebody pick up Risky Business, and then they might pick up something like The Samurai, for instance,
For those that are unaware, Criterion, like The Criterion like fear that Malcolm just mentioned is so true, and I've heard it from so many collectors that when they start collecting, that they don't know if they're going to be able to like because it's serious, so they get worried, and so like seeing
Yeah.
a Wes Anderson film or Noah Baumbach film, for instance,
Yeah.
or Greta Gerwig, makes it a little bit more palpable, a little bit easier to get into something like that. And then and I find once you do, there's this like Criterion drug that comes over here.
Yeah.
That now that you're one of them, you've got the Criterions on your shelf, and you slowly start like expanding with what you do. Ironically, when Criterion started, they were very much commercial. But
Yeah.
here's the thing: it costs money to put out RoboCop. It costs a lot less money to go get foreign films back in the day. Criterion put out
Exactly.
RoboCop, but now they're going back to doing a bit more of the releases that now I guess are considered important, but back around like 10, 15 years ago, stuff like right, Risky Business or any John Hughes film or anything like that, Criterion would have touched.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have touched that. It would have been beneath them. But now
Yeah.
it's it's cinema.
Well, it's funny. It's funny, from what you says. Not gonna lie though, I've been liking Ken and Lorber too a lot lately, and I think Ken and Lorber was another one of those ones. At one point, people were like, "Oh, it's all old films."
Yeah,
I'm not
it's
gonna,
songs.
I
It's
can't
all
get into that. Yeah, it's all silence, all this,
There's no
and
feature.
I think, yeah, exactly. And I think now that these companies, especially places like Kino, are getting these big titles like The Great Escape and that it's actually helping them become more mainstream to, the more average person out there who's not just. I think it's good. I think this is a great time for media because you've got the chance to test things. Like, let's be honest, when you pick up a Criterion, the first one you pick up, let's say it's your favorite film, let's say Risky Business, when it comes out, people pick up the 4K, right? They're going to go, wow, look at this book, look at this deluxe artwork. Hopefully it's in a standard Amway case because I hate those digipack ones. No ones are really thin. I hate them.
I love the
Like
digipacks. I really
Pinocchio.
do.
Oh, they're horrible because they get damaged so easily.
Oh, mine.
The
So I got
worst one,
digipacks.
the worst one has to be Menace to Society. So thin, it's like I'm going to rip it open and damage it. But they'll see that and they'll see the booklet if it ain't one of those just fold out ones. And they'll go, wow, what a premium edition. And I don't think anything reaches that except for Radiance, in that feeling of the real premium kind of feeling, without the slipcover and all that. I mean, the standard kind of way.
Like in the standard way. I'm not saying I haven't gotten into Radiance yet myself, so I really can't like speak as much on that one as you can. You've got all the releases, so it's you've been there since the beginning. I tried to be, but didn't have.
It's funny you
Who
say
knows?
that. It's funny you say Alex said to me today, he said, "Oh, as I haven't tried talking to him," and I said, "I told him about what happened."
Yeah,
and he was like, "Oh, that sucks." I went, "Yeah."
yeah. I'm going to try again sometime in the future because I do think that their releases are worth chatting about. And so speaking of important films, I have Madam Web on the way.
Ooh, he's flashing the cash.
Pixie is like totally, she's over there, like just stalking me.
Are you looking forward to watching Madam Web?
I've seen it, but it'll be rewatched for me. It's just gonna be
on the
features.
disc. On the disc.
Yeah. See, here's the thing. A lot of people didn't like it. Like, spoiler alert, I probably enjoyed it more than a lot of people did. Not as in like, oh, this is high quality cinema, but as in like
the baby
it's like I always say,
on the way.
I'm not bored. If you don't bore me, I'm there for you. But if you bore me, like, I'm sorry. No, that's it. But there's just something I'm not sure what there is. Like, yeah, sure, there's cute girls and all that type of thing, but I'm like, something about this movie. It's off and it's weird, and you got a villain that's like 80 yard the entire time.
Well, from
but
what
it's just something about it.
Oh, can I talk about a recent movie quickly?
Mm-hmm.
Just what I think of it. So I watched Night Swim.
What do you think? I've seen it. So what do you think?
All right. So I was sitting. So when we were doing the packing, me and Alex said, "Let's have a break and let's put Night Swim," because I bought the 4K. It felt very, very lackluster for the most part. There's some great moments in it, in the sense of the meaning behind certain things, but it feels like it should have been one of those made-for-TV horror films for me. There's so much in it, but I think the problem was near the end. Obviously, I'm not going to spoil it for other people because you'll get what I'm saying by saying it.
Yeah.
Where she jumps into the water, right, to save someone, the mother, and she's got the thing, and she goes all the way down, all this, and all the way back up. And all I kept thinking is, there's no way in hell you'd have ever got back.
So,
because that spiritual force would have taken. Now, I get why they say this, because the coin and all this. But the movie felt like it was Blue Mask, because it's made by Blue Mask. It felt very, very basic. And it felt very, very lackluster. The effects were bad. The family dynamic was a bit...
yeah, it didn't work.
But at the same time, it had some moments, so it wasn't too bad. But like I said to Alex, I said, I feel like this film is the teenage kind of casual teenage audience who want to go and see a horror film for the sake of watching a horror film than it is actually being old school.
I really think they'd be insulted. A bit. I'll say, and I won't say give anything away, but I'll tell you, and you'll understand what I mean as soon as I say this. The ending to this film does not work at all.
No, it doesn't.
What happens at the ending makes no sense. And it just seems to happen just to...
We'll talk about the family bit at the end before the other bit, right?
Well, the for lack of a better word, the person, there's not everybody, it's not good for everybody. And
okay. Yeah,
the one that's not good for it makes no sense.
Yeah.
There's no reason that has to happen.
No.
Like, I don't mind it happening. It feels superfluous.
Yeah.
And not in a good way. It took me out of the film. You get a movie when you're like, okay, I'm watching it, and a really stupid decision will happen, and then I'm gone, and then I check out. If something and I watch slasher movies, like they're filled with stupid decisions. Like that's how
when you have more fun watching a direct-to-video Bruce Willis movie than you do Night Swim. There's issues. There's issues.
I mean, like, there's and here's an example, and I'm going to give it to you. A lot of people are going to just really. There's a hot take for you guys. Remember when I was watching the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake for the first time.
Yeah.
And I'm watching it, and the cinematography is gorgeous. It's Daniel Pearl. The cast, I think, are great, and she can't find her boyfriend. And she throws her key. She throws the van keys away. And I'm like, at that very moment, I'm like, fuck this movie.
Yeah.
Fuck this movie. I don't care anymore. And I've never been able to like that film because I can never.
Stupid moment. Such a stupid moment because no one will do that.
No, and when you go on every sequence after that is stupid decision after can you please make the most stupid decision that possible, and can you keep doing that for the rest of the film? Because if you make any other decision, the movie ends.
My favorite part, I can't remember if it's in that one or the other one that came out after it, where Leatherface basically falls over and almost cuts his whole leg off. I love that scene. Just such a funny moment because he's like, oh, I just love that. It's so great.
It's 2003 when I'm talking about. I know you like most people think it's awesome, but for me, film watcher, I got to be honest with you. I got to be true to my roots and say I've never loved it.
I like the 2023 one, and I like the other one as well. What was the other one called? Was it called Beginning?
Beginning was good. I really like Beginning a lot with Jordana Brewster.
Yeah, I like both of those. But I get what you're saying about the other one.
But Madman is fun. Madman, you don't expect with Madman. It's a high budget. Like Texas Chainsaw Massacre is, they had. It's not like they didn't have some groundwork there. You had a blueprint. You didn't have to follow it completely, but you didn't have to go okay, every character is going to be like if the character Franklin fell out of the van and hit his head really hard. But
then woke up and then could walk again and started dancing and stuff. It made no sense, like a music number.
But it is that being said, I can still watch it. I own it. I still watch it. I find it entertaining. It's just when it gets to that scene, I always check out.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Like certain scenes, certain films, just just I think just hit people the wrong way or hit people. Like when I
get all
first
the time.
watched Rob Zombie's Halloween, like I watched the theatrical cut because that's I saw in theater,
Yeah.
but then I saw the director's cut, and I think without me even saying it,
Yeah.
you know exactly the point where I'm like, help this film.
Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Because it gets to that scene, like, because we got this wonderful like escape sequence in the theatrical cut, which is fantastic, and then it gets to the director's cut. And I'm like,
Yeah, it ruins it.
yeah, like Zombie needs like somebody to like, and I think this is the thing because I think Zombie is it's got a great eye. Somebody needs to call him on his crap sometimes. Somebody needs to look at him and say, yeah, no, rein that in.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm gonna be honest. When it comes to number 2, it's number 2. I always enjoyed the hospital scene, to start off with. But then, I just, the
car scenes what gets me number 2. That's when I check out. There's another checkout moment.
Oh yeah, you talk about the cow
with the girl, when she's in the second one where she's just like fuck, like all this like I'm angel, blah blah blah. I'm like, this would never happen. Like you're not going to write a book and somebody's going to find out in the book that they're this person. That's not real. That's not real. That's not how things work.
Yeah, my bit's when they crash into the bloody cow.
Cow.
I guess it starts going like this. I'm like, who likes this movie?
I'm not. Roger Corman, love Wasserman. What's your favorite Roger Corman film while we're here?
There's so many because there's so many. Because I was looking the other day, and I was thinking most of the films that I really enjoy of his, the ones he produced. Off the top of my head, I'm gonna have to look on Letterboxd. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to look on Letterboxd because I'm gonna forget one out of them because it's quite a lot.
Like if the logic, like James Bond's, like in a James Bond film, the bad guy wouldn't like in reality. If you've caught your nemesis, you're going to kill them. You're not going to tell them your plan and leave the room. But that works in James Bond because that's what James Bond is.
The best bit ever of that has to be, no, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die. I love that. Yeah. It's got to be the most famous ever.
Because you don't expect it, because like we've only got, this is only the 3rd film, but we still, at this point, we still have like, and if you go back and watch it, and you've watched other Bond films, you haven't seen Goldfinger, like you expect it. You expect, okay, here's where he says his plot, here's where he does all this stuff. But Goldfinger doesn't do it. He's just like, no, screw you, Mr. Screw you, Bond.
Well, I can tell my favorite. I didn't realize it was one of his films, so I'm glad I looked. It's got to be The Mask of the Red Death.
You can't go wrong with the AIPs, man.
Because I knew that he did the other ones, with Vincent Price.
Yeah.
But I didn't know he did that one. So that would be the one out of all of them for me, because that movie is a masterpiece in itself. And he directed that one.
He was proud of that film.
When it comes to producing, there's so many classics that you can tell that he had, a part in.
That's the thing. Like when it comes to producing, like, not gonna lie, when it comes to producing, Summer Party Massacre, 1 to 3. When it comes to producing, that's he did that. Like he's that. Like the targets exist
because of him. Pit and Pendulum is classic.
I wish Idris Elba would be James Bond, but he won't be because he feels too old to be James Bond. I don't think he is.
He's too old now. If this was 10 years ago, 10, 15 years ago, he would have been perfect. In my view, it's going to sound really controversial, very controversial. In my view, Idris Elba at one point was the only guy who could be Bond, after Daniel Craig. If it'd have been 10 years ago before the last, I would say, 2 Bonds. I think he was the only person with the suave who could have.
Yeah, because
You're lucky, Matty.
oh, that's Target's such a good movie, and a lot of these movies that they will love, a lot of these directors, a lot of these actors. If you're a Nicholson fan, if you like Joe Dante, if you like John Sayles, if you're a fan of Gail Hurd, all these people grew up. They were all started with Roger Corman.
Yeah.
One person was a dick about Roger Corman's passing, and I'm not surprised. I can't tell you why I'm not surprised. Though. It's not on camera. I'll tell you later. But Paul Schrader.
I see.
Paul Schrader said, no, I said people are saying all nice stuff about Roger Corman, but Roger Corman didn't want to make my movies when I went to him. Had to go to somewhere else, and I'm like, that's a youth thing, Paul Schrader.
It's funny because when you look at his career, and you look at the people who he helped along the way, they're all masters of their craft for the most part now. Like if they didn't fade out, just to giving up with that, they're like the top tier. So it says everything.
Roger did pass on Blue Collar. Because it wasn't right for him. It didn't fit. Blue Collar wouldn't have fit with Roger Corman's films that he was producing at the time. He made the right decision. I love Blue Collar, but Roger Corman made the right decision.
That's one Richard Pryor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Roger Corman's only lost money on one movie in his entire career, called Intruder. Great film. That makes sense. He wanted to make a film, an important film, filmed a message, and it bombed. And he said, "You know what? I'm going to make movies that make money."
He should have, if he wanted to make a good movie, he should have called it An All Intruder. Yeah, An All Intruder. If you put it together again,
I missed it. Actually, until you said that. But it's no.
The guy made good decisions. I mean, when you look at his producing credits later on in his life, like those ones that really went to DVD, like later on, but most people would go, eh. Even they represented more than what other people would have noticed. Like he did that dinosaur one. Do you remember that one?
Carnosaur?
Yeah.
Oh, Carnosaur, man, that's so cool. That needs a release, man. Good release. I love Carnosaur.
Yeah.
It's so cheesy.
That was brilliant. Well, I mean, he represented everything that he is. Everything. Amazing.
Like the Little Shop of Horrors, right? And of course, it became a Broadway musical. Then became like a 1980s musical film with Rick Moranis.
I love both versions of that film.
Oh yeah.
The musical and I love it.
The dentist.
Do you know what? Whenever people say going to this, I always think of that song.
Oh god, it is so good. Jack Nicholson, yeah, he did a few movies with Corman actually. I remember
the Terror was one, wasn't it?
Yep. A lot of, and you got to remember, like a bunch of Corman films. You would buy footage from like foreign films, like Bloodbath is a perfect example of that. And you would just make like a completely different film around it.
So basically, he was like Godfrey Ho, except talented.
Except, yeah. Thank you for qualifying that. Yeah. I'm actually surprised we haven't seen like a Godfrey Ho guy from Severance.
I still think that they should do Ninja. Gold. No, what was it? I said Merry Christmas, Kung Fu Ninja Star or something. They might do now that they're doing the Bruce Lee sets.
You could.
What's that?
Dick Miller. I said if you love seeing Dick Miller.
Oh, okay. For a second, I thought main point if you love seeing Dick. I was like, what the hell?
Well, yeah. But I don't know. I mean, I can't remember my first Roger Corman, but like I said on I started collecting like again because of Roger Corman. Because the Roger Corman Cult Classics collection started coming out
Yeah.
from Show Factory, and me and my better half were like, we were both massive fans.
I
Like here,
mean, I
I grew up.
didn't go on, sorry.
Oh no, no, so, I grew up in Newfoundland. She grew up in Morocco. But we both bonded on like our
Yeah.
love of like the old Corman classics.
Yeah. Well, I looked in my collection while I was packing away. I had the 3 movie Blu-ray set, Women in Cages and that.
Oh, that's a good one. I needed that one
Yeah.
actually. My dad has it.
I had that in my collection. I was like, if I wasn't packing, I probably would have, watched them.
Yeah.
So,
Like Corman, it means a lot to so many people. And my only thing, and I think Corman's World was a fantastic documentary, by the way. But I hope that, because I know Roger Corman was like a director and writer producer, but he birthed like so many different like talents. But I often worry, and because I do worry that maybe he didn't realize how important that he was in this whole pool of things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's more than
Like, as you
likely.
see your students speak,
Yeah. I mean, more than likely, that's the case. I mean, but in saying that, we're looking at these things that people are saying about him, like Francis Ford Coppola, Scorsese, and that, it just shows you how important he was. And what's happening? What's going to happen now? I think is so many people are going to look at his career now and his filmography and go, "Wow, look at this maestro we missed out on."
I got them right there. I can bring them over. I got my Roger Corman classics. Because I don't have. Did you have them all? I missed a lot of them. But
over here, because obviously a lot of them I know were released more in America than over here. So no, I didn't have the DVDs. Definitely not because they were Shout Factory releases, weren't they?
Yeah, like I'll bring them over. It's only a handful. Okay, I got a couple others. I'm not quite sure where they're at, but I'll show them to you guys. So go full screen for a minute. And you can tell me if you got other versions of these films.
All right.
So here we go.
If I did, I would have packed them away, but I can tell you.
Big Bad Mama 1 and 2. So I was a massive fan. I was in love with Nancy Dickinson, and I used to rent these on VHS all the time. So when this came out, I got this at Future Shop. I remember the day I bought it. I flipped out. I looked at him. I was so excited. I was like a little kid. I'm like, oh my God, I used to watch these movies all the time and then go to my room and be by myself. But
hey, who's doing this?
This triple pack has got like Georgia Peaches, The Great Texas Dynamite Chase, which was a lot of fun actually, and Smokey Bites the Dust, which was that.
Is that too?
Gail Hurd worked on this actually. I think this was their first work with the Roger Corman before she went on to do a lot of famous stuff.
Yeah. Great movies. Don't own them. They need to release a big set.
There'd be a lot. Crazy Mama.
I've got Crazy Mama. I've got the 101 Films version.
And The Lady in Red, which is, of course, Pamela Sue Martin. Yeah. And I grew up like with soap operas and Dynasty and all this stuff, and Pamela Sue Martin was Fallon. And of course, because Nancy Drew, if you were like a fan of like Nancy Drew Hardy Boys series. And she's nude in this. So as a kid, I really want to see it. Now here's a classic one. Because these are, what's cool about this one is that here's some stuff that's directed by Corman. And, right here. So we got Attack the Crab Monsters.
That's classic. I like that one.
War of the Satellites, and of course the original Not of This Earth. So good.
Yeah. Brilliant.
is such a good movie.
I like that.
Oh, as always, Galaxy of
I
Terror.
got that. I got the AA Films version of that. That's
It's such a
brilliant.
good movie. It's a mindful film.
I love my favorite part in that is when that big monster just starts humping the woman.
Oh, the mega type thing. It is a weird film. Like, look at the features on this, like, guys.
Bleeding out, look at that.
And let's see if I can find one of the ones that have it here. Because I got something in there. We'll get to it. Not of This Earth, the remake. So
I've
this
got
was
that. I got that. I got it on DVD.
Jim Wynorski, and but it's Roger Corman, and he gave Tracy Lords a chance when nobody was, and he didn't have her get nude, which
But
anybody
shows you
else.
had a lot of respect for her.
Roger Corman worked with so many women, and was a big supporter of female filmmakers. World Satellites, a 60mm print. That's so cool. My better half, one of her favorites. Piranha. Now she prefers Piranha too.
I own that. I've got the 4K of that recently.
That's a good one. We got the Blu-ray this as well, so we're massive fans of Piranha. And was this one of the ones? Human Eyes from the Deep.
I've
I
got
love
that
the
as well. I've got the AA Films version.
It
I like
is
that cover more though.
It's a good, and a lot of these here, I got a lot of them put away, but these are the booklets that came with them, and they always had like a picture of Roger Corman with like.
See, I like those booklets because they teach you a lot.
They're really fun. Like they're not, they're not large, not a book or anything like, not overwhelming. Death Race remakes, yeah, because he did the original Death Race 2000.
It's funny because talking about booklets, some of them can be really intimidating for people.
Oh yeah, when you get those 80, 100-page booklets.
Yeah,
I love Human Eyes. Like you got to take Human Eyes for the because Human Eyes is the one that where they're, they want to impregnate the women, the human creatures do, and it is such a meanness to the film, but in a way I think that's clever.
I agree. We
Because
need more women on Blu-ray. We don't.
the first thing that they do is they come in first and they kill all the dogs because the dogs will protect the humans, and I think that is genius.
That's genius for that.
Like I hate seeing animals getting killed in films, obviously.
It makes sense. It actually makes sense.
Yeah, like you think that's
no. I love that cover.
Yes, Sir Crash.
No, I don't have it. Never seen
Joe
it.
Spinell, man. Joe Spinell. Well, you can cuddle up with.
Is he sweaty in it?
He's sweating and everything, man. Of course he's sweaty. Joe Spinell and David Hasselhoff.
God, that sounds good in itself.
Yeah, look here, like Joe Spinell, David Hasselhoff, Carolyn Monroe, Christopher Plummer. Like you go wrong with this movie. It is such a good film, in its way. It's a knockout one, but one I'm very proud of. I'd leave it for last.
Ooh.
Summer Party Massacre Collection.
No, I love that one. I think wasn't the second one more of a comedy, like even more so. Was it the first one where it was a guitar?
Almost like kind of meta before meta. It's really weird. So a lot of people go like. There's all kinds of theories in the second one. So I guess I can spoil the movies like from the 1980s. So basically, the first Slumber Party Massacre film, guys, it's about this guy that escapes from an asylum and he's going around, he's killing girls with a big saw, like a handsaw type thing, and it's very failing, obviously. So initially, what had happened was that the writer of the film had wrote it as a kind of a satire of slasher films because slasher films were getting ragged down by Cisco neighbors, stuff like that at the time period. So he said, "No, let's make this. Let's put actual nudity. Let's make this into a film. Let's actually make this good." But he said, in order to do this right, what I'm gonna do, Roger Corman said, I am going to go, and I'm going to make. I'm going to get women to direct it. So every Slumber Party Massacre film is directed by a woman. written by women, directed by women. So when they would go and say, "Oh, this is a misogynistic, horrible film. I can't believe what's happening," like then Roger Corman said, "You do know that this film was directed and written by a woman, right?" Because
Have you seen the new one, the remake one?
it is so fun. It is so funny. Have you seen it?
No, yeah, I own it though.
It's good. I mean, like they do like this kind of like gender swap where there's these guys and the guys are like a bit airheady and like they're at a cabin together and they have like kind of this, what's that? Is it a pillow fight? It is so, but it is so funny. But the dude that in it, like at the beginning, he looks so much like the original guy.
Yeah, sure. It's good.
Um,
I've seen the trailer, and the trailer really, really hits and works. But I think I got it in from 101 Films doing one of their sales because it's actually got the slip and everything.
it's definitely worth having. Yeah, I've got the Blu-ray for 2 and 3 as well. For some reason, odd reason, when they put out the 4K, they put out 1 and 2, but didn't put out number 3. Which
Yeah, I don't get that. That's a bit weird.
a lot of people hated on number 3. Oh yeah, I was gonna say my theory beyond number 2. So number 2 is weird. It's got a whole lot of soap opera stars on it, which is got every slasher movie's got a soap opera connection.
It freaks you out. It makes you go, ooh.
Especially because Santa Barbara, which is my favorite soap opera, by the way. But and of course, and Chris Bernard's on too. From like she was very famous back in the day. She was in a series called Wings. But the movie's like second one has this guy, and he's dressed in like leather in 50s rockabilly style.
I remember, yeah.
Style, and he's got a guitar, and there's a drill on the guitar, and he's going around, and there's an actual sequence where he stops and he dances, and when he's killing someone, and it is such a cool sequence, and people are like, what the hell does that mean? And there's like scenes where she's having visions and all that. So in my mind, I'm not sure what your thoughts was. Like none of this happens. Like she's lost it. She's never
out of these.
All this is in her head. And you dig A. Martinez. I do like A. Martinez, but my favorite is Lane Davies. Lane Davies had a massive influence on me as an actor when I was growing up because I used to watch a lot of soap operas and stuff like that. But he was an actor that did soap operas, but he would go out and he'd say, "Okay, I need some time to go and actually do. I need to do some plays. I need to do some Shakespeare. I need to just get out there and do some stuff." And I was
Steve McFadden with doing pantos.
Oh, pardon?
A bit like Steve McFadden when he goes and does pantos.
Yeah, exactly. Because you need that, and I know that if I would have pursued acting, and it would have worked out, that I would have needed that because, as you can see by watching the fact that I do YouTube and live streams and all this stuff, I do like the response and the live interaction, and plays give you that. When you're when doing a film, it really doesn't. Like my Joshua, thank you. I actually have 2 of these. I've got like one that's similar, but it's white, but this is my gray one.
Nice.
Remember Wings kind of a blast show. So many good people came out of Wings though. Like think about it. Like just go look at the cast of Wings. It's insane. I remember Sirius Monk, like he came from there as well.
Yeah.
The guy that did the voice of Superman, Tim Daly. And Steven Weber. Just such an underrated actor. I'm going to say it. I love his version of I love him in The Shining. I love it. And I actually like his take on Jack Torrance better than Nicholson's.
I actually think he's really good in that.
Because there's growth. There's an arc. And Nicholson's like crazy.
It's because it's a miniseries. It went longer, didn't it?
I mean, but the thing is, like, you can still in 2 hours you can have more than one note.
It depends. It depends on how it's directed, isn't it?
Well, that's the thing. It's not Nixon's fault. It's Nixon's fault. It's the fault of the director. She was so.
What do you think about that, Kubrick? It's the director's fault.
It really is, and here's the thing too. Kubrick is not infallible, and I love Kubrick's work. Not Kubrick. Uh, I don't know if you're infallible or not, but I know Stanley Kubrick's not. But Kubrick's also a bit maligned when it comes to certain things. Kubrick is was definitely a bit of a dick, like
Yeah.
as should have all. But Kubrick's also not the boogeyman that a lot of people make him out to be.
No.
If you watch like documentaries and stuff in Kubrick, you find that like he was just
Yeah.
like us. He was a film geek, and when he wasn't making movies, he was often just hanging out with his friends, sitting home watching movies. That's
Yeah, what's
what
that
he's saying.
documentary? Was that documentary made by a worker called Film Worker?
Which I've seen a couple on Kubrick. I remember
It was
watching
a really important one. It was the one where the guy worked with him the whole time, and he was talking about Stanley Kubrick and what kind of man he was and everything. It was when it came out good 5 years ago, I think. Yeah, Film Worker. That's it. It was incredible. Incredible documentary.
Like, because there's people that always get that tag. Stanley Kubrick, Sam Peckinpah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. I think.
No.
Oh.
I love that people think that, though. I love that there's people out there that think that. It's batshit insane. What's that? Room 237, 247, whatever the fuck the movie's called. I got it over there.
Room 237. I've got one film's released there.
It's when you look at that, and here's the thing: The Shining. People forget that The Shining wasn't super successful initially. It became a classic, but like a lot of things, it became a classic. It wasn't always a classic to everybody. And I think some people didn't get The Shining initially. And because of that, because they expected like this genius visionary director to knock it out of the park all the time, they were like, okay, my mind can't work. And their mind broke a bit. They're like, it's about the moon landing, or it's about sex. It's like, look at the way where he's shaking the guy's hand. It looks like it's a phallic penis thing there. No, it's about like American Indians. Like, what the hell? Stanley Kubrick's best was back to sleep. Oh, it's gonna piss people off. Barry Lyndon.
That's why I did it.
I gotta rewatch
if anyone believes, I think the Snake made that film, they're a muppet. And Stanley Kubrick's best film is Eyes Wide Shut because Nicole Kidman's having sex in it with Tom Cruise. Yeah.
What's your favorite Kubrick film? From the Saw series. For me, I just saw
Full Metal Jacket.
It's 2000.
Full Metal Jacket, followed by, I would say,
I have the T-shirt, like the one of my favorites.
The Killing. I love The Killing. You know the noir. Yeah,
it's great.
I would say that and Full Metal Jacket. Eyes Wide Shut would be third, just because Nicole Kidman's getting done in it a lot, and I like that back then, and that was a bit of that, woohoo.
See, for me, it's 2001 and A Clockwork Orange. Those are the two that like.
I always forget Clockwork Orange is one of his.
I wear the T-shirt all the time.
Yeah, I always forget.
And I would say if I put a third one there, it's going to be Doctor Strangelove. I just love the film. It's just so weird.
Doctor Strangelove is a blast. I always forget about Clockwork Orange because it's so surreal and so so many people get that movie so confused because they look on what's happening on the outside. But you've got to look at it from a very deep point of view of what it's saying and the feelings and that. It is
a wonderful film.
It's a film you could really dissect very easily for like about 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah. And lately I've been like digging films like that. 2001 is like it's just beautiful. And I just absolutely adore it. I remember the spells. Yes, it was by Jack Kirby. Jack Kirby did the comedy, the continuation.
I got it on 4K recently. I need to watch it.
The 4K is gorgeous.
I ain't seen it in years.
My dad bought Hin loves 2001, one of her favorites, right? So my dad bought Hin for Christmas one year, the 4K, right after it came out. But it had the special edition with the lobby cars and all that stuff in it.
how can you call Full Metal Jacket uneven? You know, Kubrick, I would have thought you, as a Kubrick lover, I'd have thought you'd understand that movie better than me. The best line in that is, I like you, Private. I'm going to let you come around mine and bang my sister. You know, I could say better than that, but I used to quote that. You know, I used to quote it all the time to people. And they just go, but you haven't got a sister. And I go, no.
I ask you a quick question before we go any further, because we're going to want to look at some other releases.
Sure.
Did you watch Doctor Who yet?
No, not yet. But I heard it had over here. Over here, apparently, it's had the worst viewing numbers in years.
What to expect? I mean, here's the thing.
Howdy, Brian.
Hey, Bart, welcome back. People nowadays are watching differently. Viewing numbers on TV, viewing numbers in theaters are going to be different. But is it like it's?
I think
there's always a twist. Oh, thank you. It's always a twist.
I think the problem in a lot of things with the Doctor Who at the minute isn't anything wrong with the show at all. I think it's just that they're actually doing what they should be doing with it. And I think if we didn't have social media and all that, I think it would be more of a success. You know, instead of being put down. Because remember, when things happen, and you know, it's a very, to certain people, controversial situation. Yeah. You know, people, you know, there's going to be negative input about it constantly. My view is this: give it a couple of seasons, see where it's going, let thingy. You know, I just think, oh, Dove Sidious. I will start. Look, here we go. Look, you can see this. Look at all these boxes.
Thank you, Brian.
Dove Sidious. They're all being sent to you because we're moving in with Dove Sidious now because he said that.
Well, I love the new Doctor. Like, shoot, it was.
I love him. He was great in Sex Education. He was amazing in that.
Yeah, he's such a good actor, and he's like, I don't know if they're going to get him for more than 2 or 3 series because I think he's a guy that can blow up.
He's going to be a big guy, and he's going to be big. I could say, from in my estimation, I could see him being one of the top, you know, gay stars. You know, to put it, okay, because he's got, in my view, right, I'm not going to say his name because I'll always massacre it because the way I am with saying names, you know, Tootie, right? I'll just say that. I feel like the guy has strong sex appeal because he's got such a beautiful smile. He's got such beautiful eyes. And I feel like women love him, men love him, and he's got all the gifts so you could imagine to be a big star and be a big ambassador as well for, you know, LBGT. And I like that. I like that we've got somebody who's, you know, people go, oh, like for instance, you know, people go, oh, we don't need a female doctor, we don't need a black doctor. What I like about him is he's everything in one. Do you know what I mean? And I like that because what that does is that goes, hey, you know, I'm constantly pushing the boundaries, not because I need to, but because I'm me and I'm lovable as my character.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And I think this like happened. I remember when, like, people that actually watch that really watch Doctor Who, they'll like it, and watched it over the years. They're not gonna be bothered. They weren't bothered when Jodie Whittaker became the Doctor. That's the truth.
Because I was just bothered they can put in bikinis and stuff. That's what bothered me.
Yeah, or they would have went like had at least it would have been a little bit more edgier with kind of her and Yaz.
When are they gonna get? I want to know why they didn't put her on a planet because there's these different planets. Right? Why didn't they put a planet of like sex and put it at like 10 o'clock in the evening? And have like this whole X-rated, you know, and then on the Blu-ray they could have blurred it for like, you know, 12, you know, but it would have been great.
Because Doctor Who is meant for a younger audience, and we just grew up with them.
That sucks.
Jodie was really good, especially for the younger audience. I think
that was the top. I think that was the top female actress they could have got for at the time, especially TV.
People always like rag on it, and then some now and they say, "Well, it wasn't well written, or wasn't well done, or they'll say, "Oh, this is the first female." No, guys, I'm gonna like break some barriers here and scare some of the classic Doctor Who fans. I'm a classic Doctor Who fan. Originally, there's supposed to be a female Doctor after Tom Baker, but they switched at the last minute.
Well,
But yeah,
it was
there
Peter
was.
Davidson.
Well, he was the only doctor that was kind of dick about it, a little bit, like when Jodie came out. It's like, I know who are little boys going to like. I mean, what do you mean? Like 10,000 other characters right there. Oh my god!
It's weird. I think it's weird how people get so worked up about things because, especially in today's world, because one thing we learned about today's world we live in is everything's changing. Everything's not always for the best, not always for the worst. I feel
not better,
I just feel like it's just changing, and every decade we have to change with the times. And if we can't accept the positive and try and work for a better future for everybody, all right, how's it going to be? And I think if I'm completely honest, I feel like you need not just representation of family, not representation of this, but of everything. This is why I think it's important when we have strong shows to do with Indian families. There was what was that show called over here? Oh, it was an incredible show, and I'm not talking about a comedy show either. Because at one point that's all it was for the most part, like goodness gracious me and that. But what I'm saying is when you have these shows, I mean, America started, Fresh Off the Boat and the Blackish, where they started having more what do you call it? Anyone shows like the Blackish were always went with like Fresh Prince and that. But you had like the Korean show with Korean family, you had things like Kim's Convenience from Canada and stuff like that. To me, that's important. Because I don't feel like it should be, in the sense that it should be made a big deal of. But I think it's important in the fact that there are other cultures, there are other people out there. No, they're not different to us. Yeah, they might have different cultural aspects, like how in Korea they call each other Amma and Appa, but it's no different than calling people dad and mum. Do you get what I mean? And I just feel like that's the thing that stops this stupid divider. Same with LGBT.
I think that if anything, like it's sticking in the same thing. We're getting away from certain parts, but just because you gave me, you put a thought in my head, is that if there's anything issues that I had with the Chibnall era, it was that he lost that sense of real sense of even though we had Ryan and Graham, I don't think the sense of family was there as strongly, even though they're called fam. As it is with just a couple of episodes of Russell T Davies. Like you feel like a connection with Millie Gibson and his family, and you want to see more of them. With Yaz, you meet her family for an episode and really nothing else again, right? And she was an important character.
I mean, it's like when you had the generation. It was such an impactful moment because you had them both there. But immediately, the chemistry between David Tennant and Tootie was phenomenal. They did feel like they were part of one, but also separate. And I like that. I really did. I thought that was really impactful.
It is. Shooty's so good. And the fact that you've got Shooty and where he's from, and he mentions my race were a product, of genocide, and they're not around anymore, is personal to him.
Yeah.
Which is something.
Also, one thing I am loving from what I'm seeing from this new series is all these. Now, think about this has always happened in Doctor Who, but I'm loving how now when he says something like in 1963 I was in a junkyard, all this, but the BBC are actually showing these moments on Facebook that actually make you feel more connected to the past as well as the present. And I love that because it makes you want to go and look at it. Yeah, you feel like to watch both at the same time and get those connections. And I like that.
Okay, you got to get caught up because episode 3 coming out this week, Stephen fucking Moffat writing it. And it's supposed to be. It's kaboom. It's supposed to be intense. All I know is this: the Doctor steps out of his TARDIS onto a landmine. He can't move. That's the episode.
They can't move.
Moffat always takes these chances with Blink and stuff like this. He's doing this. They asked Moffat, he said, "Are you going to write any more? Are you writing any for series 2?" He said, "No, but I am writing the Christmas special that year."
Ooh, that's going to be fine.
There's some people that are like, I'm not so sure I'm Russell T. Davies right now. Are there like, it was so weird because they're all like, Moffat, oh, I hate Moffat. Like, Hin's favorite. Like, she loves Moffat. It's her favorite showrunner. Matt Smith's her favorite Doctor. And I will say Matt Smith has the best opening of any Doctor ever.
Yeah.
Like, with the scam. So yeah, and people are all of a sudden, there's this like love, kind of like renaissance, this love affair with Moffat again. Because people were like, oh, they love Moffat until he became the showrunner. Like, oh no, I know.
Yeah.
But he wrote like River Song, still greatest Doctor Who story, and it was total order. It's just the most timey-wimey, wonderful Doctor Who story of all time. Is River Song.
It's very, and not that the character was very deep as well. It's so many twists and turns,
and it's Alex Kingston, the gorgeous Alex Kingston. So that does not hurt.
Let me. You got guys. If you've not seen Alex Kingston with her chubbers out, you don't know what you're missing.
She did a few movies. She was like, with Helen Mirren. She did a few movies where she actually.
She was really beautiful in the Croupier.
I need to get that released.
Clive Owen.
Yeah, I've seen the movie, but I don't own it. I need to own that one. The Arrow put it fantastic.
4K, isn't it now?
Yep, nice 4K release. I watched. Speaking of 4K releases, I watched Wild Things the other day.
Ooh, they look good.
Oh, fuck!
Because I own it.
It is gorgeous. You're gonna like it. It's like we know you've seen the movie, but it is a gorgeous I
think every man's seen that movie.
It's a gorgeous print. It was kind of I was gonna watch an Emmanuel film, but him was working from home, but the maid was here, so I'm like, I can't watch Emmanuel.
So you're like, hey, let me guess right. So you're like, hey, maid, I can't watch Emmanuel. So I'm going to put Wild Things on, right? So you can see Kevin Bacon's Nuna. Because let's be honest, we watched that movie because we want to see his people. We don't care about the other people in it. We want to see Kevin Bacon's people.
Nobody wants to see Denise Richards, right? No, but actually, I've forgotten. Like there's more than I thought, because I did upstairs, so I was downstairs, so I was watching the movie. I had my headphones on.
So were you fast forwarding and rewinding and then going, oh, I'm not finished. Rewind. Oh.
Yeah, no, I have 8 cats. I ain't have none. It's absolutely not. Watching Black Emmanuel box.
Okay, guys, here's a funny story for you quickly. When I was a kid, I was forced to live in the room with my 2 cats with my nans. Right, so I'm like 13, 14. I'm my most hormonal, right?
Oh, God. No.
Right? So I'm watching something really, really hot on the TV. I'm getting all like, oh, yeah, that's it. Now, I had a chair, right? It was like a normal kitchen chair. It has the bottom bit and the thing. I'm about to let go, and I've never believed in having tissue ready. I'm just like, right?
So here I go.
So I'm about, whoa, and all of a sudden, the cat looks up like this from under, and I'm like, no! I hit the cupboard door, and then the drip, boom, right in the head of the cat.
That is
too much
information. That should have been a Patreon story, dude. Just saying, dude. You get me demonetized, I kill you.
I didn't say anything really bad, but
the Black Emmanuel set is fantastic. I've watched the first 2. And I realized as I'm watching the second one, I've never seen it. And it is not Emmanuel. It's the same director. It's a different actress in the role. She's gorgeous. She's a very beautiful lady.
Very good.
She never wrote it, never acted anything else. It was the only movie she ever did. And so I'm starting to watch it. And I'm like, this is like the character's so different. Like, because Emmanuel's just like the strong character. She's like this
Yeah.
photojournalist and that. But this Emmanuel, she's like frigid and she's like she's had like trauma from like from stuff that happened in her past, and she's got amnesia. It's such a weird film.
It sounds more realistic.
Actually, no, it makes her the victim in her own in her own story, which is the opposite of what she normally is.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it is
You know. Hey, Darth, I say get over to Vicar Dibley. What, do you finish off doing the joke at the end?
Laura Gemser, she didn't like her husband is in like Gabriel Tinti is in like a lot of the films with her.
He's normally her sex partner in them, isn't he?
Well, yeah, a lot, not always, but a lot of times, because they met on the first one, but she afterwards.
You know what he looks like, don't you? You know what her partner looks like, that Tinty guy. Whenever I see him, he always reminds me of Daniel LaRusso's mum in Karate Kid. He looks just like her in the face.
That is a weird.
Yeah, they do. They look so much alike. If you look at pictures, guys, if you look out right now and you put him in, you put her in, it's as if they're related. I'm telling you, almost identical.
Yeah, Laura Gemser was not a massive fan. Hey there, Evan. Welcome, man. Was not a massive fan. Elvis was concerned. What I got to thank him. He said, yeah, because he saw me do the Tarzan set, like an unboxing for it. It's like, be careful because there was like disc rot and like in the Warner Brothers Tarzan set. And I was like, don't worry. I said, I actually came from France. It's like actually came from a factory in Europe.
Hey,
so it was set for Risky Business and Bound. Good titles. No, thanks for letting me always, man, when it comes to stuff like that. It's always important to know that stuff. So just because I got mine from France, there's people that are going to look and they're going to say, okay, I want to get that release. And they're going to be getting it from North America. So it's good for them to know.
Yeah. I mean, this right is really prevalent nowadays. Even more so.
Have you ever had it?
I have, actually. I had a copy of Ninja Thunder Kids. I got it from Asia. And I kid you not, the disc rotted so bad since I watched it, but it looked like a see-through disc. You know when you get the stack of discs when you want to pirate them, like the DVDRs, and you have that clear one? It turned into that. It was so weird. Yeah, it was so weird, but the whole film and everything had gone. It was just creepy.
Only happened to me once. Bad Influence. James Spader, Rob Lowe. Loved the movie when I was young. Was so excited to get it. Now get this. Was sealed. Open it up. This crap. And I'm like, oh, never had it before. Never had it since. Thank God. Knock on wood. Latest doppelganger.
You know what gets it a lot, didn't you? VCDs get a lot of disc rot.
Oh, that's the VCDs are like the cheapestly done things. Jacqueline Bisset and Charlotte Rampling. They're not the same lady. Jacqueline Bisset. Remember, what was the one with Rob Lowe and Andrew McCarthy? Jacqueline Bisset.
God, I ain't got a clue.
I'm
tired, so I can't remember.
First Tarzan movie released on Blu-ray with Johnny Weissmuller. It's not the first Tarzan movie. The first Tarzan movie was years before. It was a silent film. Yeah,
the first Tarzan movie was from 1926.
You know this from from the top of your head. Not from
I know that from studying. Let's put it that way.
You were like a deer in headlights. And you're like, let me see if I can remember. And I'm like, thank God, like the glow glasses.
Hey, what do you expect? It was like completely against me. It was like, oh, he's not going to beat me on this.
Like my dad had kind of against him for the other one, so I said I'll do something kind of fun, and I didn't know that you hadn't seen Tarzan, so I was kind of surprised actually.
I just love that your dad at one point goes, he's cheating. I know he is.
Yeah.
Oh, Pretty in Pink. Pretty in Pink.
Pink's
I like Pretty in Pink.
The movie I was thinking about was not Secret of Meyer. Came around the same time. I think I might have had it on a disc with Secret of Meyer though. It's killing me now. I gotta find out what the movie is. Hold on a second. And it is one that I should know.
In case Darth's still here, I'm moving on Friday.
Class. It's called Class.
Class.
Yeah.
That's why I forgot. That's why I think, because it's such a German name. Oh, when it Class. Class.
I was initially. Do you know what this video is going to be? Initially, before the Criterion thing came out.
What was it going to be called?
Hot takes. And I was going to talk about the where they showed picture from the upcoming Superman film. The Black Man Who
The one who's booting up, the one who's lacing up his boots.
Yeah. So I was like, and I love the suit, by the way. But I wanted to talk about the DCEU and what's coming up and stuff before. So you know my thoughts a bit. So it would have been hot takes, all right.
I want to get since quite a few people here now, guys. I want to give you a bit of an update, all right? So I'm sure everyone won't mind me saying this. So on Friday, I'm moving to my house, all right? I'm going to be setting my stuff up. It's probably going to take me a few days. After that, I should be back to normal with you on here, shouldn't I?
Okay. Yeah. Well, hopefully, as long as I'm back to normal.
You know what I mean? I mean, when you're on, kind of thing.
Oh hell yeah! That's what I wanted to do. Well, when you said you wanted to do this,
we'll definitely be around for Vinegar Syndrome anyway.
That sale! I'm so excited for that sale.
Me too.
I don't gonna get much in sale if I get anything, because nothing's especially after what some of the rumored things are. I'm not excited.
I'm excited for the VSA 4K is a lifeline. I'm excited about that because Johnny To's a brilliant director, and I've only got a DVD, so I'm excited about that. But I don't know about the other titles.
It's gonna be interesting to say. What you sent me a thing saying that they had 20 partner label releases, and I'm like, are you serious? That's a bit much. 20.
I said to Donna, I said, you think about it, right? With the discount, if they're like $20 each, that's like $400 just there. But they're not all going to be that. They're going to be like a bit more. So they're probably going to be like what? Let's say 460 maybe. But we got to remember as well, with sometimes when they say 20, that doesn't mean there's 20 releases. It means it could be like 20 titles, as in 3 in one set.
Let's do something real quick. Let me play devil's advocate with something here.
Sure.
Because you know I'm big on doing that, and I love me some Vinegar Syndrome. Literally, that was my name, Mr. Vincent. But I'm gonna break this down the proper way.
Yeah, Samurai Wolf released 1 and 2 through Film Movement partner label.
So here is the last releases from. This is the last page of partner label releases. Okay.
Yeah.
So aside from we got what? Out in the Ring. We got.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that Mom Pop one, if that's a great one or not. Daniel's
it was all right, but it wasn't anything special.
But I don't know if I need Daniel's a Real right now. Houseboat Horror is have you seen Houseboat Horror?
I own the Ultimate Umbrella edition from Australia, but I haven't seen it.
Why?
Yeah. I don't know. I went on a bit of a short video binge, and
have you seen it?
Popped up.
It's not that great.
But it came with like a book, and it came with rigid slipcover. It even came with a pin. I think James Bailey would be great as me, actually. He's got that kind of perversion side to him that I like. Like if he plays his Crash character, as well as like a mixture between Crash and Reddington. That'd be me.
See, I'm almost scared to think Wyland think should play me because it makes me nervous. But
I tell you, should play you
uh,
easily. Peter Dinklage.
I wouldn't mind that actually. That's a comment. But no, I mean, see, I like Nightmare Weekend. It's insane. It makes no sense.
That's why it's so good.
But that's what I love it. For me, it's like a penultimate like Vinegar Syndrome release because of that. But like, you want to know the James Spader era that would be me? Sexualized videotape. Sexualized videotape. If you've ever seen the movie, if you know why. They call you Mr. Vincent because you like Vinegar Syndrome. Yeah, they did actually. Well, I didn't. What happened was, Jeremy, basically, I was really popular. Really
you were
good
like
podcast.
a spokesperson for a long time, weren't you? Like unofficially.
Unofficially, yeah. Basically, there was only a couple people that were talking about Vinegar Syndrome. It was me. I think Sarah Latera was the other guy, and I was on a podcast a few times called Just the Disc with Brian, and he kind of like nicknamed me, kind of like jokingly, kind of like, you're kind of the Vinegar Syndrome guy, aren't you? And Mr. Vincent. So to the point where it became my Twitter handle. Hey there, Truck, welcome, man. And but it got a little annoying afterwards because people assumed I was working with Vinegar Syndrome.
Yeah.
So they'd ask me questions, and I get DMs all the time about upcoming releases.
I wish you'd have said, "Give me your order number," and I'll look into it, and just got it shipped to you instead.
Yeah, give me what's your credit card number again? I'll just check on that for you.
There you go.
Giamatti.
I think personally, I think the person who could play Yo, is what's that guy's name? It's an English actor, I believe. James Nesbitt.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. 100%. Most people wouldn't say that, but I think you know why.
Yeah.
More so than most people.
Really?
Yeah. Matt Frewer. I look like Matt Frewer. But
did you really like? So Dove said this. She really liked Daniel Isn't because I thought I was very mixed on that.
I liked it. I'll agree with Arcetius on this one. Would you ever wrestle Malcolm? Like in real life, he kicked my ass, man. Kick that. I mean, in a video game, yes, he's still kick
in a video game, Aaron won't do it. He'll play my faction over and over again, but he will not wrestle me in the game.
When we do a My Gym mode, when we get a season of My Gym mode, then you get a wrestle me.
All right, sure, that sounds good to me. I'll beat you at the season, and I'll beat you in the ring. Let's put it that way.
Because it'll be fun.
Daniel Isn't Real. Okay, Daniel Isn't Real, just quickly, because Dove said boy up. I liked the film. I did. Right? But I had some mixed views about it. And I saw the alternate ending as well. And I actually like the alternate ending more than the actual real ending.
Do you really?
Because the alternate ending has it where basically, obviously, you know what happens. But they can't hear him or talk to him. He's still there, thinks he's thinking. But I like that because it's basically switching. Had some really crazy moments in it, but I did like it. I just had mixed views of certain things in it.
They would get the Umbrella, not the limited one, but I think Malcolm bought the second limited edition that came out for Umbrella for the Mario set.
I did. I bought the second limited edition one, which probably was a mistake. I probably shouldn't have done, really. But yeah, I like the way it looked.
SmackDown is jumping to USA Network. Yep, a month earlier than planned. That's true. And there, of course, if you got the game, if you go in and you put in ECW champ in your locker room, then you get a new extra wrestlers.
I love this. Gleeman says, "Aaron, you'd give Malcolm up for his money. Maybe you come from a small community in Newfoundland."
I joke with my better half all the time. We have this like running gag where I'll look at because Hinda's she grew up more proper than me.
Hmm.
Like not that even proper, like Oliver.
That sounds bad,
I
actually.
always say like I came from the mean streets of Cowhead. Oh, like I lived in a small fishing village.
Yeah.
People,
Everybody knows you're a hard man if you come from a farming village or you come from a fishing village. They're the
it's weird.
scariest
Like
people.
everybody looks at me like now, and Hind and her friends or sister or something, and they're like, "Oh, you don't like, I said, you're not outdoorsy type, are you? You like movies and stuff that you're." And I'm thinking, like, I grew up there my life. There was no inside. Like it's
Yeah.
not like when you guys are kids. Like, uh, you know, see you later. Don't come in until it's really fucking dark.
And it was super dark as well. That's what people don't
Oh my
forget.
god! I remember once we were at this. My my neighbor had this like little kind of cabiny area, right? Now it's a cabin. It was like
Hmm.
a shed, and so me and some other guys and some girls, we decided we're going to go up to the cabin, the shed area. We're going to go in there,
Ooh.
whatever. Make out as much as make out could be at that age. We're young, right? So it wasn't anything serious. Porkies. We opened the door. There's like all this like hay in there, right? So we're doing like hay stuff, like moving hay and stuff. And all of a sudden, all these bats come out, and we're running, right? We're running our asses, and I can hear, and it's a bat because I had longish hair at the time. The mullet the day. And there's a bat kind of caught in my hair, like, and his wings are like slap, slap, slap.
No, no.
I'm serious. Luckily, he got out, right? Well, I was like, I'm a kid. I'm like, running my ass out. There's like a bat, like whacking me in the head. Like all my friends are like dispersing in different directions.
Talking
So
about bats, apparently where I'm moving, there's actually bats in the park nearby, apparently. And you can go bat watching, with like flashlights and stuff. Apparently, because when I looked up the area, there was a sign thing for bat watching. I don't know what that's about because I wouldn't have thought. I mean, I know there's bats around because it's that kind of area, but it's not like in your face. Do you know what I mean? So
super
it
cute.
must be like in a
I don't.
right. What do you call area? So if I do get to see that, that'd be interesting.
I was at my dad's because bats haunt me. Because I'm gonna get a bat suit, and I'm sleeping downstairs on the couch, and I see something flying aside, and I'm like, "Is that a miller?" Which is what we call moths in Lad. And I'm like, "No, it's not. That's way bigger." So I'm like, "Oh, that's a motherfucking bat." So I take the
They landed
blanket,
on you.
I put it over my head, and I'm like, I let my dad know, and then I go back, and I'm like, "Okay, you get this thing out of here."
You put a blanket over your head.
Oh yeah, I let my dad take care of that. I was like, "Nope, I'm good." I was like, "I'm gonna be the coward tonight. Thank you very much. This is your house, Dad. You can take care of the bat." And he did did good.
Marcus only observes the beavers at the local adult centre. This is true, actually. I like looking at a good beaver. If
I like this.
if the beaver is a hairless beaver, then it's pointless to me. I will never, ever, ever look at that beaver again.
If I had to touch a halibut, I hate touching fish. I really do. And I used to, obviously, because we used to
Is
drive.
it because the sliminess of them?
I don't like fish. I'm like not a fish person. Like grew up in fishing.
I'll just saying, I'll just say about Alex, Trender man. His biggest issue, right, is butter.
Butter?
If you put butter near him, he vomits. He can't stand it. He can't be near it. He can't look at it. I've seen people walking down the street with something above it, and he's actually literally hit out of their hand because he hates it, and then ran off.
Everybody's got their own thing. For me, I'm not sure. There's things I'm finding as I get older. I'm becoming more open to different foods that I would never have had before.
For a second there, I was wondering when you said more open. I was like, oh,
that's yeah. Well, Doctor was pretty sexy now, so No sushi for me.
Ooh.
I tried like the sushi without the fish too, like the
Yeah.
and it's still not. I still don't like it
I've never been
because
a big sushi guy.
I don't like seaweed. I don't like the seaweed like wraps and stuff.
I told Donna I wanted to try the blowfish. And every time we go in a restaurant, she goes, "No, you're not doing that. You should have to sign a waiver." And I go, "I'm going to put my life in someone else's hands." And she always freaks out and basically loses it.
Well, who would want like one? It's fish. Two, like like if you're gonna, can you imagine if you like what a shitty way to like the go, right? Like,
what you do, what to put on this is you sign the waiver, and then you go to her, and then you wait until the friend comes in because they're not there at the time. Go, give this a try, and then if they like it and it doesn't kill them, it's fine.
but then you still gotta eat fish. It's still fish, and I don't like fish.
No. Over here in my house right now, there's tons of moths from outside. They come in, they do all sorts of rubbish, and they're big. They're like this big, right?
Oh yeah.
And what I do is I catch them in these bottles, right? Because they're so still. So I just stick it in like that, when it's empty, obviously. And then what I do is I just watch them in there and wait for them to basically, I guess, run out of energy and suffocate.
So Malcolm's the potential serial killer.
Hey, I've been potentially that for years, so
But
insects. I feel bad for insects. I really do because they do so much for us, but at the same time, they have such short lifespans.
not all of them. Some of them are bastards.
Yeah, not all of them. But I mean things like moths and stuff.
Yeah. Bumblebees. I love bumblebees. They're so beautiful.
Yeah.
They're so pretty.
I hate wasps because they always come through our window.
Wasps are dicks. Wasps are the dickheads of that part of the insect.
And what about those bloody Asian hornets? I saw one the other day right up against my window, and it was giving me those beady eyes. Those eyes they do, where they just stare at you. They got that.
You have dragonflies over in London?
Yeah, we do. They're quite big, actually. Not big, but they're not. They're like like the talbot is kind of long, and then
I had this like big lollipop, right? When I was around like 6, 7 years old. I had like this big lollipop, and I was licking it, and then I go to lick it, and like my tongue goes like and it's a dragonfly.
Oh,
yeah,
I think one of the weirdest things was years ago. I went to punch a moth because it was flying around. Like, get out of my way. And it just kept hitting me in the head over and over again, like a defense mechanism. Sam and Dean will help you.
Yeah,
that's a supernatural reference.
Can you imagine if you would go to hell for watching wrestling and like horror movies? How boring would the other place be? Just saying. If that's the case, you're like, yeah, maybe there's
the other day. I said on the other day, right? Because Donna was talking about when she passes away in the future, and I said, I know what you're going to do. You're going to get up to heaven's gates, and you're going to say, "When's he coming up?
Don't let him in.
Can you end him now? Can you bring him now?" And I said, then what's going to happen is you're going to fall and go straight down to hell because they're going to say you tried to attempt murder on your partner. And then I'll be up there going, oh, I'm all alone. Malcolm, what are you giving away? I gave a lot of my DVDs away, actually. I gave a lot of them away to the Trinder man.
Considering he's helped me like that, yeah.
Well, he helped me. He helped me quite a bit, and I was like, he's had to get rid of quite a few of his movies in the past, and I was like, you know what? I like to reward people to help me. I have a real thing about that.
It was really nice for him to do too. Like to get.
Yeah, I didn't ask him. He offered twice.
Yeah.
So but yeah, I sold some DVDs as well. Guess how much I got for the DVDs? Right, Actually, let me do it again. Here's how much I got for the DVDs.
How
Because it was
much?
shocking. For on average, I got 1 penny each.
Oh my god, are you serious? Where'd you sell them to? CX or?
Yeah, CX, 1 penny each.
Oh,
All right.
that's
I said, Donna, one day I'm going to go in there with 5 DVDs for like 1 penny. When they go cash or credit, I'm going to go, give me the cash because it'll be like 2p. And
I mean, you
go,
got to
yeah.
go when you go into a store at CX. You got to be like, hey, wait a second, and they come up there, and, oh, this was £5. This is £10. No, you bought these for a penny. You can sell them to me. I'll give you 2 pennies, double what you paid for them.
How many did you have? What I gave away? Probably about 50. Basically, I gave him Amityville Curse because I bought the new one. So I gave him that one sealed. I gave him Joe S. Warjus. Oh, giveaway to CX. Okay. Probably about 35. I had other stuff. The credit note came to about £135. But basically, most of the DVDs were like a penny each. Which what was weird was this, right?
A penny is
Sleepless in Seattle on Blu-ray, £12 trading.
Yeah.
Right? Why is it £12 trading?
Well, seems that was a pretty good movie, but I'm not
Yeah,
sure
but I
what.
bought it for like $3.99 in HMB. So that
That's
was
what you
weird.
get. It is so like I remember Blockbuster was around, right? I would always like find like these titles like and that I knew would be like worth more, especially if it was like a video game. If I was like at a flea market or something, I'm like, wait a minute, and I knew I wasn't gonna like it. But I'm like, wait a second, yeah, I can trade this at Blockbuster. Actually, make some good money, and like actually get some good credit, and I'd get some extra movies.
Well, there was a time in Blockbuster where I remember there was a guy called Jazz, right? He was a really nice Indian guy because his real name was, I think it was like Jasmine, whatever. But I'm just saying that because he was a nice guy and I just wanted to know why his name was Jazz in case people were like, is there a story why this guy's called Jazz? Anyway, I went in there once to trade in years ago and I had box sets. Remember the old Friends ones that had multiple cases in them?
Oh, yeah.
And he said, throw the case away and give me the 4 thing because instead of getting £1, you'll get £4 because every movie is £1, if you put it in. Boy, at one point in Blockbuster, I had credit, I kid you not, of like £2,000 from trading in. And I was like, I'm going to get a TV because they said, oh, we're going to get, TVs in. 2 weeks later, gone. They weren't there anymore.
I didn't know Blockbuster even had TVs.
Well, apparently we're going to get in because that was going to be their next big thing. But they went. They were gone.
We should probably mention GameStop over here too, by the way. We'll mention that in a second, though.
Oh, yeah.
Big deal.
A lot of people are talking about, and I don't know what your view of it is. Do you want to go first on it, or do you want me to say?
Well, for people that like to put it in context, GameStop, sold mostly games, and they got into Funkos and stuff like that. Now selling movies as well. Now it's limited, like they're not like massive amounts of movies, but they're starting to get into more physical media. And they started really small, started about a year or so ago, and you'd see like a video game related movie would kind of pop up on the counter, and it was kind of a test thing to see it would go, like Super Mario, like Tomb Raider, stuff like that, and the movie would show up there. But now they're starting to do more movies, and I'm actually excited about this. I don't think it's not going to change the physical media landscape, but the fact that there's somewhere out there where you can actually get some, and if Blockbuster does in the right way, and as the swap and trades eventually, like they do with their video games, I think that would be a success.
I would say my problem with it is this, right? I think they should stick to the stuff. Like, I think they shouldn't do DVDs at all. I think they should do Blu-ray.
I disagree.
And I think no, I don't, because I personally think this is the reason, right? Because what's going to happen is, again, that would people trade. If they take trade-ins, right? They take trades. If they don't do trade-ins, fine. DVD galore, what they want. But if they do trade-ins, they're going to get so much generic crap. It's going to look just like it does on their gaming shelves. Look, there's 18 copies of this game of Stardew Valley. Not because the game's bad, because there's tons of it. And they have all these other low budget movies in there. Thinking if they don't do the trade-ins on the movies and have DVDs, fine, because then they're going to be ones they can manage, but they can sell, so forth, right? But they also need to make sure it's stuff that is actually going to sell, because normally when places like GameStop try and do this, it's a sign that they're dying. They've been dying for years. You know, I mean, I love GameStop. I love Game. To me, these stores need to exist. But, you know, stick to what you're doing. What? You're going somewhere to... Oh! Yes. That's what we want.
I think it's a great idea for them. I mean, like, when initially we had EB Games, which became GameStop in Canada. But EB Games used to carry.
It is public domain track.
Yeah, because Amityville's just the title of a town, right? Like, it's like if you wanted to make New York in a title, it's just the title of a place.
Me and Darth Sidious are making Amityville Darth Sidious. We're going on that one.
You can do it. But yeah, we used to have like game like whole section, a movie section. And the cool thing was you'd go there, same as with the Blockbuster, you find a whole bunch of like regular crap, right? But in between there, you would find friggin' gems, stuff that you never expect to see. Because people come in just like wanted a game. They trade in a bunch of movies to just take stuff away from the game. And people would trade in everything. I remember that, and I wish I still had it. Remember that awful Howling movie, like with Kane Hodder and yeah, that was impossible. That's impossible to find. Just one of those impossible to find films. I found that. I got it for like $2 at a GameStop.
Yeah, but you won't get that way now because everybody's in the know, apparently, when they look at all the bloody CX thing.
People always say that, but at the end of the day, that they're in the know for like a week or 2 weeks, and there's going to be people that are going to go like that are flippers. They were always flippers. Nothing changed that. But there's other people that don't give a shit, and they're just bringing stuff in, and that's always going to be the case. That's like if you go to flea markets, right? There's always going to be that table that is overpriced, right? You go there, you see their comic books, and they're like 2 times the price of what they should be, or their video games, or their movies, and you're like, oh no, you don't buy from them, right? Then you go to 2 tables down, and there's this guy who's got a bunch of stuff, got a whole table full of movies selling. And it's like, oh man, there's some really good stuff here. And you're picking up like TV series for like box sets for like $5 and getting a whole bunch of stuff. That's the way it always is for stuff like that.
Yeah, but we're talking about a store. We're not talking about that.
But it's the same thing. It's because it's not the store's mentality, it's the mentality of people that come in.
But it depends. It depends, because I remember Half Price Books years ago, right? Years ago, we could get anime in Half Price Books when I first moved to America for like $10, $20. And by the time we left, every bloody anime was like $30, $40.
And yeah, and that's the thing. But here's the thing, Malcolm. Here's the cool key thing. A lot of the stuff that we like, and I'm not talking about just boutique labels, but just in genre titles in general, they're not going to be high priced. And that's, there's a lot of whole, like before Vinegar Syndrome came around, there's before there's titles like that, there's companies like BFI, and they're no longer around anymore. And they put a lot of really good releases, Paul Nash's stuff on Blu-ray and all this type of stuff that you can't find. And that's the thing, is like people are going to come in, they're not going to say, oh, is this movie out of print? Because they're going to see an old movie. It's not going to have a slipcover.
I do think more people look at prices more now than they used to.
I think it's because this right here. See this? This is my phone. Got the nose on the back. Ooh, evil. But
well, I think it's because the phone. I think it's because all these reselling videos you see now as well, and how it's encouraged. And then you've got things like Reddit and all this.
I think
it's great. I mean, it's a great landscape for people to make money. I'm not complaining about that. I think it's fine. But I do think it makes things harder. I mean, I go and see CEX, and there's movies in there I find a lot cheaper than they're on eBay. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, there's times where you go, why is this? I'll give you an example. The Tribe, the New Zealand TV series. I love that show. I grew up on it. And I was like, I really want this series again. I want to get all 5 series. And I look on eBay. I'm looking at least £140 for it. Hey,
Yeah,
Alex.
We're just talking about it, man.
We were just talking about you. I was talking about how amazing you are. And I said, not only did you win the boxes, but you helped me move the bed. Not out the room, in case people wondered. That was a sexual reference. I just think with GameStop though, I think it's one of those things where I think it's a very hit and miss thing. Depends on how they do it. They'll probably make it. It's definitely going to be video game related media as well, because it's got to be.
Well, they started with that. They've already done that. Like they're moving past.
Like, I mean more. I mean like more. You know, like constant kind of.
But they're going to go for regular titles. But it's going to be different titles that are going in there. But this Trek has actually a really good point here, in that a store like a GameStop isn't gonna, that's doing stuff on a regular basis with stuff coming in and coming out type thing. And if you've ever worked at a GameStop, then they're not gonna have the time or the inclination to give a damn about, okay, let's look at this is this and this is
But
gonna be this.
you keep forgetting. It's not the GameSpot employees that do it. It's people they hire especially to do that.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Like you just mentioned, Walmart. Perfect example of a store that's like physical media. And or Target, or any of like the places that carry that, like, unless you're if you're a smaller store and you're, you like, if you're this is going to sound weird, but if you're a Value Village, right, you're going to have people more vested in getting that extra dollar and putting the extra stuff on there, as opposed to a GameStop, where the games are still, you want to be like your bread and butter. But the thing is, like, here's the thing: they need to do something physical, because they can't just have Funkos. And there's less and less physical, like, copies of games coming out on a regular basis, which is sad but true.
Especially with the Xbox.
Xbox got Game Pass was too damn good, and because of it, nobody buys games on Xbox. I have an Xbox. I got a few games, but not a lot.
I think the problem with the landscape of things is, before I went to America and I met Donna, one of my biggest dreams was to go to Walmart. It's true. I'm not joking, because I went, Walmart's got all these movies,
Oh, that makes sense.
And when I got there, yeah, because I was from England, for cheap prices, all this. When I got there, I was so disappointed. I was almost in tears. Seriously, no joke. I'm being serious. I went into Best Buy and I felt like I was in heaven. Right? Went into Value Village, and then I realised, here are my people. These are my people. You walk down your aisle, you smell that aroma of baby poo, and you smell the aroma of somebody who smells like they've lived on the street for 20 years.
Value Village has a very distinctive smell, no matter where you go, man.
Exactly, like drains and everything. CEX has that smell, actually. The smell of drains. Every CEX has the smell of drains in it. And that's what it's like in Value Village. But the one thing I noticed about Value Village before we left was they went from doing bargains on the media to having ridiculously priced sets. Yeah, so you kind of just feel like giving up. One of the reasons I don't go in charity shops anymore is because of the prices.
You can still go to Value Village and find amazing prices on box sets and movies and stuff like that. And you know what the difference is in a box set and a price is if it's sealed, it usually has a ridiculous price. But if that same box set has a wrapping not on it, it's like $5.
Yeah, sure.
Which is great. Great for me. I went into there. I picked up Season of something. And I think it was Ghost Whisperer. Yeah, for like under $5. And They had 2 seasons, same season, right? Was there? I think it was like
Yeah.
$12 for it, and it was like sealed. And I'm like, nope. And I went like just a little ways down, and they had an unsealed copy of it for $2. I'm like, yeah, I think I'll get that.
Oh, I can
Vintage
answer this
games,
question.
no, vintage games gone up. Vintage games are like you want to talk about something like we get mentioned on here a lot of like people talking about like boutique labels like kind of pricing themselves to the market and stuff like that. Vintage video games is gotten insane. Like there was a time when I'd go out and I'd be able to buy like some because I'm for those that don't know, I'm also because I don't collect enough stuff. I'm also a video game collector. I have almost all the like the standard regular consoles.
When I'm going to say this for Aaron because I know he's too modest to say it. Right. When he's not playing WWE 2K24, he's not playing Conan, he's playing Pong, Dong, Sing Song, Long Dong. Right, these are all Pong, but obviously different. Asteroids and the classic, the one. What's that one called? The classic one that was on the Mega Drive, the one with the dolphin.
I mean, Echo.
Echo. There you go. See, Aaron knows because he's got it.
I actually do. If you can revive any dead franchise from a past to make a movie, what would it be?
That's a good question. Wishmaster for me.
That's a good one, but only if you bring back the original.
Yeah. If you don't count the last two, you count the first two.
Franchise, so it has to be a franchise, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's hard. Wishmaster is a good one. Malcolm took a really good choice. No, some Prime Masters have already been brought back, so I don't.
Well, American Ninja would be a great one. Oh, Big Bad Mama.
I could definitely like direct that. I direct Hello Big Bad Mama.
I could make a sequel called Big Bad Mama. I'm in her.
And who'd you cast now? Who would be the Angie Dixon of today?
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
Oh,
actually.
the woman. You know who would make a good, what do you call it? The woman who plays Elaine in EastEnders now. But when she was younger.
No, Shelley Winters is in one of the other ones, but this one is Angie Dickinson, and she had different like daughters in the different ones.
Talking about that, Shrek, since you're a big fan of Corn Lake, is the new one good?
Yes, really.
Because I almost bought it the other day.
It just got canceled.
What?
We didn't want to watch it first because we were like iffy on it. We're like, man, we're not like big in like watching like reinterpretations of shows, and we're like, but one day I was just really bored. I was on TV, and we sat and watched the first episode, and I'm like, oh, this is good. Damn it! Like the cast was good.
Reminds me of Timeless. You know, Timeless was good as well.
And again, not around anymore, unfortunately.
I ordered a vintage copy of Asteroids on eBay and got a bootleg called Hemorrhoids instead.
I have Asteroids here. I think I got Asteroids. I
think surely everybody's got Asteroids. Surely, unless you're like really young and you're a kid, everybody must own some. The TV you could get where it was on song with Asteroids. I had that as a kid.
Right? Oh, the little like.
The little TV in that, right? And I looked it up recently. So, I might get one. 200 quid.
That's insane.
And that was on eBay. I was like, oh.
I had a watch with a video game on it. It was like all it was it was a tank,
like Tamagotchi kind of thing.
No, before I'm older. Tamagotchi is my kids' era. But it was a watch. And it was kind of so. And I had this like little like tank, right? So there was like
Yeah.
a plane, stuff was flying above, and it's kind of like shooting down,
Oh, nice.
and you're like trying to go across. So I got sick. And I was
Oh,
sick for I was sick for a couple of weeks, and I was like really sick and bad, and I had a fever and stuff. I was starting to feel better. My fever was breaking, and so the doctor came up and he said, "No, you got to stay home for another week because we want to make sure you have epilepsy, we don't you have seizures." Because that point I was having a lot of like grand mal seizures. And I was like so pissed, I threw my watch and it shattered it, which was a dumbass thing to do.
oh no.
Kid, right? And I'm like, oh. That was my. I love that watch too.
Did you ever have any of the Tiger handhelds?
Oh yeah, a few Tigers actually. I
I
used
had
to
a
love.
load of Power
They're
Rangers.
people like they're crappy, but I used to love the Tiger stuff. I had that.
Funny.
You watch like Friday 13th movies, of course you do.
Mm,
Remember, like in the second one, that football game.
yeah.
I had that. I think everybody had that
It's
when
fun.
I was mine.
It's funny because when I was a kid, I remember playing those, and they were incredible to play as a kid, right? But I feel like the kids today would never understand how important they were. But I won't go my way to buy them now either because I'd be like, do you know what I mean?
I know, but they're so. But here's the thing. I was into before I came here to Morocco. I was in St. John's, and I was into Bed Bath Beyond, which is no longer there, by the way.
Mm.
Um, I think it was the Neosonic Tanks and Planes game. I gotta look it up. But so I was in there, and they had like re they had old school Tiger things, like obviously like new, like redone versions, but it was the same thing. It was the
Yeah.
Tiger ones. So I guess they had a bit of a renaissance. So it'll be lost on some people. That's like a lot of the early stuff. Like I grew up with the Atari 2600, and even for somebody who grew up with like Nintendo, like it's a massive difference. Like you've got a control stick and one button, and and you go from that and like a dot with like, look, it's a man. You can tell because it's a square with a sort of with a rectangle and another square. It looks like a hat. So look, it's a man. But we had some like more risque games in the Atari 2600 era, as opposed to what you get like in
Bloody cats. I hate when the cats pop on. I thought you
you.
would have been around doing the what is it? The Intervision? The Intellivision? I thought you would have been around back then. You know,
I
when they
was
had
back.
like the phone thing.
I didn't get into televisions that much till later on. I had Atari, and my friend had a Commodore 64, which we loved to play, and of course, and then of course later on there's Nintendo.
Hey,
And
we got Monkey just swang in.
yeah, well, second worst president, but yeah, that was like that was a brutal. Don't give away anything for that one, but because it's a really good
No,
episode, and Milkman's seen it.
I haven't watched that yet. I haven't watched that last episode yet.
Turned to live
I
action
think
Yu-Gi-Oh
Yu-Gi-Oh!
movie.
Is a hard one to do, though, as a movie.
I
Live
choose
action.
you, Blue Eyes White Dragon.
But in saying that, I mean, I think, I mean, I wish they could do a Beyblade one. I love
Makes me
Beyblade, the original Beyblade. I love the Beyblade. I used to sing that song constantly. Beyblade, Beyblade. Loved it.
my oldest, she was like really into Beyblade. I used to buy her I bought her the arena.
What, the battle in Beyblades?
Yeah, and I used to
Let
get her
it
big
rip.
all the time, and we get her the original ones and the knockout ones. Like after a while, we had just a bunch of. I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh actually, and my oldest, she used to play Yu-Gi-Oh too.
Did you go come out when you were a kid then?
No, but like I collect board games. I grew up with D&D, the original D&D, and I played D&D when I got to college. I was playing stuff like Rifts and AD&D and Vampire the Masquerade and stuff like that. But I've never lost that like love of stuff like that. So, and I thought Yu-Gi-Oh was really cool, like the dynamics of it. The thing that kills me still to this very freaking day is I was at a store, and it was a comic shop, and the guy we used to sell comics and used to sell weed on the side, like back before it was legal. I
Oh,
no,
I
I
wonder when you had comics. Everybody know back in the day, if you didn't like a comic, you'd roll it up into a joint. Like,
But that's what he did. Like he used to have he had a store and he used to sell comics, and that was like his front for his the druggy business part of it. Anyway, so he was bringing in cards, and he said he had these two unopened boxes of these cards, right? And he's like, with so many packs in each. So it's like, do you want these? He said, you can have them. He said, because I don't think these. He said, I don't think we're going to sell these. I don't think they're going to take off. And I was like, yeah, no, try them for another week. And if they don't sell another week, maybe I'll take them. So this is what, guys, how you know that I was an idiot at the time. So he did try them for another week. And Magic the Gathering did take off. Yeah. First run, first generation, unopened boxes of Magic the Gathering being given to me. And I don't take them.
how about this? How about this? You want to talk about first editions? My dad worked delivering newspapers and stuff, like for companies, so they delivered like newspapers, magazines, the cards. One day came home with 5 boxes of the original Pokemon cards, when they were at the hype, right? I had Charizard, you name it, I had them, right?
Do you have the holographic Charizard?
Yeah, right. So I had them, left them at my mum's, right? Went to America, came back, not come back, but said to her, where are they? Right? Because I found out they were worth money at one point. Oh, I threw them out. I threw them in the bin. I could have been sitting on a mint.
Yeah. I had a similar thing when I was a kid. I used to collect comic books. And I found where was that? A bunch of original Fantastic Four. I think I had like the first 5 or 6 issues. And like the first 5 or 6 issues of Fantastic Four. And some very early Spider-Man stuff like that. And I had them in like this. It wasn't in a long box because there was no long boxes. I didn't have long boxes. There were no comic shops there. It was in like in a box downstairs. So
it was in a short box.
Yeah, like I put it in the basement because there wasn't enough room upstairs, basically. And we had a flood.
Basement.
We had a basement flood, and all of them were like destroyed.
Well, what were those? Were they floating?
Everything, like they were like literally like it was like.
Oh.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
That's the kitty cat. Hold on, I'm right back.
All right.
I'll be right back.
I think to answer Monkey's question about Yu-Gi-Oh, I think Jack's right. You have to do unknowns because that's how they normally become. That's how they normally become. Popular. I mean, when you look at certain things like when we like Harry Potter and that, they weren't very known fully at that point. Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson and Rupert Grint. I mean, most people still don't know who the hell Rupert Grint is on a good day, but Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson,
I like Rupert Grint.
I like him, but what I'm saying is he's never had the biggest career. I'd hire Jackie Chan as the stunt coordinator. Sounds good to me. It's his 69th birthday, isn't it, this year, or 70th birthday?
Doesn't he have a show now, Rupert Grint? He got a new series?
What one? Because he was in Snatch and that got cancelled. He was in Sick Note, that got cancelled.
That's not his fault. We've seen a lot of.
Oh, I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying, but there were 2 shows he was in, and I think they both lasted 2 seasons.
How do we get on the topic of? What's this? How do we get on the topic of like of Harry Potter though?
Yeah.
Were we talking Harry Potter?
Oh no, I was talking about how because Monkey said, "Who would you cast in Yu-Gi-Oh?" Shrek said unknowns, and that's why I said about Harry Potter, about how really they weren't very known, the kids.
Like yeah, you definitely have a cast like I would cast unknowns with stuff like that, or rarely known. So the good thing about Harry Potter is the casting was really good, and the they were like
That's
people
crazy,
say, well,
Patty.
oh
I
yeah,
can't
people
read
say
the word because that get demonetized, but that's crazy.
that that we're like oh, would he be, would Emma Watson or anything be famous if it wasn't for this? Yes, they would, because they're talented. So if they wouldn't have done that show, that movie, they would have done something else.
I think
Daniel Radcliffe is talented.
I think they might not have got as famous, like so young, but they
Yeah,
definitely would have been.
bad
You know, I mean, I think out of them, I think out of all of them, poor Rupert, he's in things, but it's not really that popular. Daniel Radcliffe seems to be the most successful one when it comes to the amount of movies he's done. But Emma Watson, to me, seems to be the most successful when it comes to actually being quite.
Yeah, she's if she doesn't do another movie, I don't think it matters to her.
Exactly.
Because she has other things in the fire, basically, is the best way to put
Yeah.
it. But yeah, no, Daniel Radcliffe is really good at choosing. And he's really good at picking things like, okay, I did this, but let's do something different. Like let's go
Exactly.
in different directions.
Oh, it's Raph. Hello, Raph. How you doing?
And Winters is my Valentine. I've been watching like a bunch of movies. I like I said, I like movies that are more challenging, but every once in a while, I just want like that bubblegum movie. And like I told you before we started, I watched Anyone But You again. Like I watched it for review, but I watched it again. I watched it again today. Do you know that?
Because you like
I
that song
rewatched.
Unwritten part, didn't you? When they're singing it
I do.
together.
Yeah, I love that song. I mean, I couldn't believe it was in there. Like because it's such a cool song.
That was good. So was Holmes. Yeah.
But I'm watching it, and Glenn Powell is just so good. Like Sydney Sweeney, she's beautiful. Like she's a beautiful, beautiful young lady, and
She
she's
needs to
talented.
just get those bombers out and do a hot scene.
She did. Did you not see that movie?
No.
Vires. Check it out. Like she does a lot.
Wow, I didn't see that.
Oh yeah.
She needs to go and join Axel Bourne Productions.
Like it's an erotic thriller. So if you've never seen it and you want to see a lot of Sydney Sweeney, holy crap!
I'll go look this up quickly. Hold on.
Ruby Black Cat. Yeah, it should be amazing. Well, she's amazing as Black Cat, actually. That's good. That'll be a great choice.
So look.
Against Kimmo. Oh, nice. I can't believe I haven't seen it. You're gonna like this movie, man.
Oh, yeah, no, I heard of it.
So yeah, so basically, she plays.
I've heard of it. I've heard of it because I know I saw the other guy on the poster. That's why. I haven't seen it, but I've seen a different version of the poster. But I didn't realize that was her.
She's looking out there at her window. They moved into this new place. She's looking at her window, and she sees a couple next door, and they're and other people, and other people are brought in. It's raunchy. It's really raunchy, actually. So if that bothers you, I know Malcolm, I know you a little bit timid about this stuff. So
I'm just looking to see. It's on Prime.
Oh yeah, that's where I watched that. Amazon Prime.
I don't want to watch it on Prime. I want to watch a disc. Is there a disc?
I hope so. I saw it on Prime when it came out. I'm just worried there's not a disc.
There better be a disc.
Because I've been looking. I think there is. I've been looking for it because I watched it on Prime when it premiered on Prime. Oh, The Vires. Sydney Sweeney. I think that's what it's called, right? Vires or The Vires? Which one is it?
It's called The Voyeurs.
The Vires, yeah.
And there's no disc other than a pirated disc that you can buy legally.
But yeah, so it's an Amazon original, right?
I think so, because it's on Amazon. So.
Yeah, that's where I saw it. I know it was one on Amazon, and And
You
it was
know
like,
what? Let's turn this into a party chat stream where we all see Sydney Sweeney doing her best, getting off with everybody, and then we can all just have a massive sausage fest together while we're all sitting here, and we can all at the end just go and we can call it family time.
that is so not happening.
That's there you go. The time with the cult. There you go.
But and what's that saying? Oh yeah. Anyway, so Anyone But You, I just totally like, and some of the like the writing is not the greatest, especially when you realize it's a guy that did Easy A, which is freaking fantastic. If you've never
I
seen
told
Easy
you,
A,
didn't I? It's
watch
very much.
Easy A.
It feels like a little bit more raunchy version of a Hallmark movie to me, and it's not that raunchy.
Yeah, no, oh, no, not at all. I mean, like there's that scene where his ex-girlfriend on the beach,
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah,
like, she is
yeah. What the hell is that about?
perfect. like perfect. The parts ever make you watch rom. The opposite. My partner, she's more into like fantasy and sci-fi and action films. I'm the rom-com person in our
Oh,
relationship. Like I have
me,
no like. I would never not say that. That's the truth.
me. I always recommend the movies to my wife. Technically, normally what happens is I watch a movie and I recommend it to her. Like I recommended the Korean TV show True Beauty after watching it, and we started watching it kind of like around the same time afterwards. So I waited, and she fell in love with it, and she'd never watched a Korean TV show before. And we both, to this day, still quite thinking about that show. So yeah, it's kind of the other way around.
Yeah, yeah. She got bit by that spider. That spider was fucking scary too, man. That was a scary ass looking spider. You would not have me getting close to that damn thing.
I like the bit where she's on top of him and on the airplane.
I bet you did.
Yeah,
That was
I like that. I was like, oh.
That's my first hair unwritten.
There you go. Dirty innuendo jokes provided by Maze December. You know it. This is why I'm the cult of perversion.
But it is such a good, like the end of the movie. It gets me, man. I was like, yeah, this is a silly romantic comedy. Is my eye wet? Did I get something stuck in my eye? Is that what?
It's a fun movie. I don't think it's one of those movies that has an everlasting like effect on you unless you really enjoy it. But I think it's a film that is a fun film that you can put on. Like if I was on a date with somebody, I wanted to put something on in the background, I'd put that on easily.
Yeah. Oh no, it's no Trench to Saints. Like I fast forward that scene in Raiders.
Yeah, my friend Jodie was like, she kept screaming, and Glenn figured out she needed help, so he stopped everything and made sure she got. Wow, I didn't know your dad helped this poor Jodie.
Oh, Glenn Powell. The star of
Oh,
MMBU.
I thought for saying your dad was being brought up.
But no, Anyone But You was good. It was a good film. I had a lot of fun with it. I'll watch it again. That's for sure.
Definitely.
It's just one of those you can put on and you don't have to really think about it too much. But there's been a few like that, and that's why I'm sad about Madam Web. And I know people like have spent so much time ragging on it, and I'm not gonna be that person. And people are gonna like come on.
From what I've seen, it's the villain that hurts the film the most.
The villain is so. No, and it's not just there is decisions that like decisions were made, Malcolm. Decisions were made. But for me, it's like I'm entertained. Like when I went to see on Morbius in the drive-in, like I'm like, oh, mother. I'd seen a good movie before Morbius. I watched Morbius again since then. Matt Smith is entertaining as hell in Morbius.
Such a great actor.
But that being said, Madam Web is like 10 times better than Morbius. Soundtrack's great, Madam Web too, yeah. But I do need a drink, don't I? But yeah, no, I had fun with it. And you got like Sydney Sweeney again.
I just saw, Aaron, you should watch Titanic the musical.
The musical?
Yeah, that seems a bit tasteless there, having a musical. Imagine. The boat is falling down, we're all gonna drown.
I like Game of Thrones. I'm like everybody else, Keg. I like Game of Thrones until the last season. See, I was a massive one. I found out like there's a fantasy show coming on with dragons, and there's going to be nudity in it, and a lot of it.
Yeah, the final season can go do one. It was awful. The final season was horrendous of Game of Thrones. What were they planning? What were they thinking?
It was sloppy. They took 6 episodes, made like 6 feature-length episodes, and it was all because they wanted to go and make a Star Wars series.
Because Star Wars is so bloody important, isn't it?
And you mean the series that they got taken away from because the last season of Game of Thrones was so bad? So it didn't work out. Karma's a bitch. Crown's a fantastic series, by the way. I did like Crown. But yeah, I do like
there's Madame Wet on Showtime after dark.
But yeah,
do you know what I used to watch? I used to watch those after dark shows years ago. I wish they'd release them on disc properly.
I was surprised when Femme Fatales got a release. Both seasons.
I was surprised by that.
I have that. I accept mine at the farm right now, and I'm like, yeah, I'm that same with the Hunger. I got the Hunger too, and I'm like, they actually put that out.
Yeah.
How come you want me to have space for the Crow 4K? You got to have the Crow 4K. Well, Chris Stuckman got ragged on for not saying that he didn't like Madam Web. For saying enough people have ragged on the film, I'm not going to do that. Let's talk about what goes on to make Madam Web the type of film that it became. Chris Stuckman did what I consider more of a brave take on it, rather than be
like more political about
it. He did. Everybody was going on, and they're going in and said, "Oh, look, this movie did crappier. This movie's not good. I'm going to run on and I'm going to talk about." Actually, the Lord of the Rings series is freaking awesome, man. If you never saw the Lord of the Rings, the Amazon Lord of the Rings series, it's really good. I'm not even a Lord of the Rings fan. My better half is. She's a massive Lord of the Rings fanatic. Like Malcolm knows all about this. But I watched this series, and yeah, it's good. It's really good.
I just think on the Chris Stuckman thing, I think it was being more political, and that's not a negative per se. It's just that I think he was like, I see the negative, I see this. If whether he liked the film or not, it's like I'll just be another voice. Let me mix this up. Let me be more transparent and more realistic about this instead of everybody just, being this is garbage. Which sadly, a lot of YouTube doesn't do when they talk about things. They just want to boil it down.
One of the reasons
they want to praise the film, whatever.
Well, there's the thing. One of the reasons I think that my channel is where it's at right now is because I haven't bought into the negative hype that kind of puts a lot of channels on. I can't. I'm not that person. But I will tell you, if I don't like something, I got on today. I said I don't like the showcase mode. I hate it. I ragged it down. And Malcolm was like egging me on. And I'm like, Malcolm, this is the wrong time.
I wasn't egging you on. I was just stating fact. What can I say?
It's not I hate it. I've always hated it, and because I don't like. Unless it's a story-based game, right?
Which it was.
Then it's a story then a QuickTime events make sense for something like that, as a part of another portion of a game. But to take an entire section of a game to put a whole ton of money into it, and then have that and say, oh, by the way, let's do wrestling games on QuickTime events.
Well, to be fair,
Brian Fuller.
Brian
Fuller got screwed over.
Showcase mode. I will say this just before we answer that. To be fair to it, I think over the years it's got worse because I remember years ago it would be a completely different finish.
Yeah, I
because
used
you
to
could
play it.
alter the history, and that was more fun
Yeah, I
because
used to play it. I used to
you know,
like the old version.
and you'd also have those moments where you'd have a lead up with it, like not going to real footage, and I like that and all.
But yeah, I'm not sure about you, but I'm pissed. Brian Fuller got screwed over with Hannibal. He got
Yeah,
screwed
I think he
over
got.
with
I
Warner
think it was
Falls,
close.
and he got screwed over with Pushing Daisies. 3 fantastic shows, by the way. 3 shows also all done by Brian Fuller, who also, of course, made Dead Like Me. And he's got a great mind for TV and being able to take something that, when you hear the premise, shouldn't work, and to deconstruct it and make it into a television program and make it work, and in a way that other people wouldn't. So I have really little faith in the Friday 13th series right now, and I don't know if it will actually be made. They say it's still on, they're still going to make it, it's still on the way, but I really don't don't have any faith in it getting
Oh,
done. What about you?
that's exciting, Kubrick. Enjoy it.
So I'm going to be playing on stream. Nice, man. Congratulations.
I think, if I'm honest about the Friday the 13th series, I'm not sure if it could have lasted that long. It would all depend on obviously how it started, what was happening in it, and so forth. But I do think Brian Fuller could have done a brilliant job because I loved Hannibal. I really did. And I really felt like that was one of those shows. But the problem with Hannibal is it's set more in reality in a lot of ways. And I think that really helped the show to a certain extent.
Oh, that's cool.
Always.
Crystal Lake sure happens. I mean, I'm disappointed. Like I hope that they really have to get somebody good. Like you better Amazon Middle Earth drifted away from the fishing of the characters. No, it didn't. So here, I'm gonna tell you something. Right, my better half reads Lord of the Rings every year.
Constantly.
She knows it inside and out. Like Christopher Lee. She knows it like Christopher Lee knows Lord of the Rings. And the talking points that you're saying right there have been said online, but they're bullshit.
Oh.
I gotta be honest. Brian Fuller said he wanted each movie as I mean, like he was look at Hannibal, right? He wanted to do like the next season of Hannibal would have been Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, and then they did the Clarice thing, didn't they?
Yeah, let's not talk about that one. We all know that worked out. Oh, what a fantastic show that was, right?
Well, I've heard that they're going to make. I've heard the Prime show's got a new director, new person doing behind it. That person is
Gregory Dark.
Paul Tanter, who did such classics as Essex Boys, Via There, Essex Boys, GBH, Essex Boys in Amatville.
Wait a second. No, these actually we know who it is. We know it's going to do who's going to do it.
Ooh. Who's going to do it?
Neil Breen.
I'll find out.
It's going to be done classically by Neil Breen.
Oh, imagine that. That's going to be amazing. Just do a movie next. Yeah, but the problem is, Keggy, if they do a movie, you know, I know a lot of people love the Friday the 13th movies, and don't get me wrong, if I'm in the right place, right mood, I enjoy them. But I just get tired of them being so repetitive. Whoa! You just got fireworks.
Did I really?
Yeah. You went like this, and fireworks shot up behind you.
When did this?
Yeah, you did that, and fireworks cut. I don't know how it happened, but it happened.
Maybe there's real fireworks there in the background.
I guess Aaron's right then. When he was going like this, it was like Jason Voorhees' spirit was giving the thumbs up.
He was like, yeah.
But yeah, you know, I mean, what about this 4K Nightmare on Elm Street with the Richard Case and that being released with artwork and all that?
It's good and bad. it's good that we're getting 4K of Nightmare on Elm Street. It's bad that we're not getting a box set Nightmare on Elm Street, because I would prefer
But
the
they
Blu-ray
will
box.
eventually, surely. Surely they
than a
will
4K.
eventually. They're going to cash in on it, aren't they?
They had the chance, Malcolm McCash out a few years back. That was supposed to happen before Friday 13th happened. It was in the works. But
Yeah, it was going to be one of those David Sterling boxes, weren't it, with like Camp Blood and all that.
oh, I've got to put Dave's. Yes, somebody said no.
With his signature on the box.
Yeah, but no, I mean, the company that owns it are very, very like
Obsessive.
they're kind of like the Russ Meyer people. They're really not.
No,
I wish they would. I hope they do.
It's
I mean,
like
watching
Prince's
animated
family.
Middle-earth movie.
You know,
My better
Pacific
half,
Press.
like I said, like she's a massive fan of like Lord of the Rings and stuff like that. I'll watch it eventually, but I'm not like I'm not like a diehard. Like I like Game of Thrones better, and like which is it's a heresy, right? But
you know why, don't we?
yeah,
I like Game of Thrones better.
Sean Bean's on it. Huh? Yeah, I like Sean Bean.
Yeah, that's the reason. To watch the whole series.
They're going to do another Elm Street
I've
film.
got to say this. Rooney Mara. I watched
awesome.
Lamb, and Rooney Mara gets naked in that.
In what? In Nightmare on Elm Street?
No, in Lamb.
Okay, I was going to say because because she's like not her fault. She didn't write the script. When you get an actress like Rooney Mara, and she's boring as hell, like you've made a wrong decision.
I got that mixed up. It's not Rooney Mara in Lamb. Ignore me. I read it different. Refused to come back, then stalled. Made sure no one else could come back. She can't be replaced. Well, you know what she can do, didn't you? You go, do one.
Thank her. We can thank her. I saw that film. Thank you, Rooney Mara. Thank you for making sure we did not get another one like that, and we'll get a remake. When the first film, ain't it cool news? I used to be like, I was like, I both liked and hated it at the same time. I used to hate the.
I remember that.
I used to get in arguments with like some of the guys from Ain't It Cool News back that day. Well,
I think that's over 30 years ago now.
Yeah. Good Lord,
that's crazy.
Yeah. Remember the dude from it? Like he was always. I felt like he thought so much of himself to get it that had to say.
It's such a
yeah, bit of a douche. But yeah, I used to get in arguments. Well, that's like the original like site that did the Friday 13th, the official series, right?
He got cancelled. Allegedly got cancelled because we have to say allegedly. Allegedly. Got cancelled.
Who?
I got clue.
I don't know.
Maybe from the website. I don't know. I'm just saying allegedly.
I gotta look it up.
Anvil Malcolm, the movie. That would make sense.
I don't call it. I don't say canceled as much as like if you do stupid shit.
You cause your own shit, didn't you?
Yeah.
No, I don't think. I agree. Actually, I agree with you. I don't think you get cancelled. I just think you get what you deserve at some point.
And then things happen like with people that do that. Sometimes they don't or they shouldn't. And but I think if they shouldn't, that will eventually come out.
The other thing as well is you have to own up to it. You have to own up to what you've done. Otherwise, you're more of a scumbag.
Well, look at that like creepy girl that like that had like that YouTube show, and she had a show on Netflix, and she went on with like what was it, like a little like banjo or something like that, and she sang her. That was really bad.
Ooh, essay allegations.
Oh yeah, I just looked it up actually. Yeah, so yeah.
Oi, that's my last name. Have some respect, Trek. But yeah, I get exactly what you mean.
Yeah. What it bothers me that like some of his allegations got like taken away. Like,
Mental.
crikey,
Mental.
man.
You know, when you think about it, right? I was saying this to Donna the other day. You know, all these people that you grow up with when you're a kid, and these people you idolize, you look up to. Obviously, I didn't look up to Harvey because it was just I wasn't like somebody I saw all the time. But when you look at people like Jimmy Savile, over here for kids at the time,
Yeah, that was
when
a
they were
shock.
younger, the Jim will fix it, and you look at people like Rolf Harris as an example. These people, and when you're like my age and you grew up and you were like, these are my heroes. I want to be like this person. Oh, we helped so many people. We helped change. And then you find out this stuff. It is heart-wrenching because it's like your childhood or your views have been completely misguided and you feel completely ripped to the center. It's really weird. It's such a weird feeling. It's like you've been abused too in some way.
I mean, I think the best way for something to think of something like that is like at the end of the day, it's not easy to do, is to realize that you liked that persona that person had, just not that person.
Yeah.
Like that guy there, like basically, you liked what you perceived, what he put across
Yeah.
on television, but what he was in reality was,
Well, I mean, Rolf Harris did like an animal hospital thing at one point, and I used to love watching it. Like holding the kittens and stroking the kittens and stuff, and basically saying, "Oh, they're getting better," because thing at the end, but it's just sad, And in case you wonder what I meant by, I don't know if you know, but Two Little Boys was one of his songs. One of Rolf Harris' songs was two little boys with two little toys. They come round mine and play. They sit on my lap. I bounce them up and down.
is that really a
They
song?
go on their way. Yeah.
Because that sounds creepy.
Yeah, seriously.
It does.
Well, once you know, yeah. Once you know the end of it, you know what I mean? And he'd go, who wants to, and he'd say to kids, who wants to play my didgeridoo? It's like, do you know what I mean? It was right there in your face. That's the sad part.
It's a bit creepy in person.
Yeah.
I mean, like a lot of these people are like, people always say like, oh, how do you, like in actuality, the people that we've come across over the years, in a lot of cases, I'll be honest with you, that I met that were creepy, were always creepy.
Yeah.
Like there are always people that when I was growing up, if there was somebody that was like a little off, like when you were young, you knew not good, like that person was a little off, right?
Yeah.
Now that luckily you were like me, you in a small town or something like that, you had people thankfully to protect you. No, if you're lucky. But these people like in possession of power and like with working with like it's I know what I'm talking about too much anyway. We talked about that enough. Let's get on to a happier topic. It's later in the night and I got to go to bed soon. And I want to have nice thoughts when I go to bed, guys. Because I initially came to this here to say like the partner label thing, 20 titles is too much, is what I plan to start. Which I guess I kind of do.
I think it is. I think it's too much. I think the most they should do is 12. But in saying that, they got so many partner labels now, but if they're one each, they probably still ain't done every single one.
But you don't need
I still think multiple Shudder.
I do too. I think we're gonna get like some Shudder stuff. Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. Oh.
Damn.
Dogma should be out there, man. I like Dogma.
Dogma should be on 4K by now.
It's fun. It was a fun film. A crazy ass film.
Did you guys get anything from the show page yourself? I didn't. But I did get a few things recently. I packed them away though. I picked up Dreamers, the Eva Green film on 4K. My vote with Michael Pitt.
Yeah. There's an actor that's like hard work apparently.
That guy, Michael Pitt, to me, I remember the first time I saw him. It's going to sound really harsh, but the first time I saw him, I was like, "Why is he so depressed?" And then I realised that was just basically, how he looked. It just, because he always looks like he's in a bad mood.
Like, he's such a good actor, though. Like, that's
Yeah. It sucks when they killed him off in Boardwalk Empire so early.
And which one?
Boardwalk Empire.
Oh yeah, well,
He was in it.
do you know why? Right?
Because his attitude.
Yes. That's why he got recast in Hannibal. He's.
That's also why Al Capone. What's his name? What's his name? I can never get the guy. I can never remember the guy's name. Graham something, who played Al Capone in that. That's why it became even more prevalent earlier on in the series.
Yeah, like great actor, great character, wonderful character actor. Few demons, I think. I think he gets too much into his role. Like, see, here's the thing. Let's pull a curtain across a bit. So there's usually like two camps when it comes to acting, and there's a bit of a third we're going to talk about. So there's like the people that act and did just start and you go and you act. There's people that got to get method about it. And Michael Pitt, I think, is one of those guys that gets method. Now you can get method and not be a dick, though. Like, you don't have to be Jared Leto. You can be Daniel Day-Lewis. You can go and get method in the way that you bring out a really great performance and not make everybody around you miserable. But there's people that will go out of their way, and I think they go out of the way because they want people to realize, like, when Daniel Day-Lewis gets into a character and becomes this character,
he lives that character.
He lives that character, but he doesn't do it in a way that makes other people uncomfortable.
Christian Bale does that as well.
Yeah, but some people like Michael Pitt and Jared Leto do it in a way that it is uncomfortable to be around them.
Yeah,
and it doesn't have to be like, it's not like Boardwalk Empire was going to be like a horrible, like that's one where he really needed to make himself a dick. He didn't, but he did. There's an in between spot there. I never believed in the whole method part of it. Like, there's great stuff we learned through it. Like, when I was learning, I learned a lot of method stuff. I just didn't utilize a lot of it. I utilized what I felt worked, but I can never. I like the actor so much. He's such a good actor. It bothers me.
So I believe in method acting because I method act all day, every day, because I'm depressed constantly. I have to do method acting, so I just have to put it on, and basically I've lost myself in this whole realm of existence.
You're like the epitome of the sad comic, the one that's
it.
Like,
that's it. That's exactly it.
It's the clown, it's with the painted smile.
There you go. I'm Lon Chaney in that movie.
The man who laughs.
There you go. Alan is an actor. Can't you tell?
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah. That's why I grew up going through the entirety of school, and when I was going to college, that's what I was going in for. It was acting. I did a lot of in my school and outside of my school, whether it was community. I did acting. I did classes. I did movement classes. I did speech classes. I did a lot of different classes as I was growing up because that's what I wanted to do. I studied some different methods, Selinsky, but I can never get behind that aspect of it. And it all started when I was really, really young. I had epilepsy. There you go. See, epilepsy. And because of that, I couldn't talk. I stuttered a lot all the time. I got bullied basically, you wouldn't be able to understand me. I wouldn't be on here like this. But a teacher, when I was in Mississauga, Ontario, took me aside, and she started to give me books to read. And she gave me Washington Irving's Legend of Sleepy Hollow. And she said, read that. And said, and every Friday, you're going to come in the class and you're going to get up in front of the class. You're going to read a page.
That's what you told me.
Nervous.
You told me she said that to you while jerking you off, and that helped you.
Yeah, I thought that would be creepy, man. So I got there, and the first day I was really nervous, but I liked it. I liked being nervous, and I liked that kind of like feeling just before I got up there. My felt like I was going to throw up, and then it became 2 pages, and I started to get into my we do school plays and community theater, so I started to do that. And as I got up in like years, and I would do like stuff in for outside of school and like the local areas, the off stuff, and I would try to learn as much as I can about like the different methods and the different styles. I liked a lot of physical stuff, so I think it was in grade 8, and this like when I was young, and we were doing a Snow White, but we wanted to do it differently, and I was dopey, so I didn't have any lines. So I was in Alberta at the time. I was in Kamloops, Alberta, and I went to this festival like Buster Keaton, and I watched, and I studied Keaton, and so when I got to do it, my girlfriend was Snow White, and I did like I tried to do some of the Keaton-esque movements, and when they all had come up, and we had this portion where everybody would, each of the 7 dwarfs would come up, and it's only a kid thing, right? And they say something really to their character, but we didn't have lines, and obviously I didn't have any lines because I was dopey's mute. But everybody they said, okay, go up, just say something like that. You say the doc would say, the Sneezy would say, just say it like that, and a lot of them, like, oh, poor Snow White's like sniffles and whatever, depending on what the character was. So I went up and I looked down and I kicked her like, gently, and then I shrugged because I'm dopey, because what else is Dopey gonna do? He's gonna like make sure. And yeah, okay. It was fun. I loved acting, but I didn't end up not doing it. I ended up going to school for journalism. Dolomite. Oh, that'd be it. Yeah, saying poetry. Oh man, I would be terrified to have a wiki page. Would you?
It depends.
Oh my god!
It depends. If you knew my whole history, then yeah, I'd be.
Yeah, some shit you do when you're young. Oh.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh no, right? I'd be like, oh, Pill read this, they're gonna have nightmares. My acting career, originally, when I was in school, I had to play a tree. Right, I was probably about 5, 6. I had to play a tree on the stage. All went well. Malcolm, you've got to stay here. Just move your arms about a little bit. Right? Do this, do that. Me, somehow, I trip off the stage, land on Paul in the front row.
Timber.
Pee myself completely all over them.
Oh, really?
They throw me off because they get angry. And I'm lying on the floor like this, right? With like this massive wet spot on the outfit. Right, which is made out of cardboard. And yeah, then they never really wanted to do much of me then, in like juniors or whatever it was after that. So,
did you ever do anything like that? Like, were you ever like, Zach? Did you ever get bit by the bug?
A little bit, but I don't really. The problem with me is I struggle to switch myself off, because basically with me is what you see is what you get with me for the most part. So it's hard for me to switch it off. I mean, if someone said to me, oh, you've got acting this, yeah, I could probably do it. But I've never really gone completely out of my way to do it. I mean, I signed up at one point to possibly be an extra and stuff, but that kind of didn't happen much. And I don't know. I find it weird, the idea of not being yourself. I guess to me that's a strange concept. I get why people act. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's wrong or anything. It's just it's hard for me, because I've got to act anyway. It's called marriage. So like on a bad day, I mean, when you're not feeling good and you got to be, stronger. That's I think that's more acting. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, thank you, Kay. For me, it was just I loved it, and it was my life as when I was growing up. I went from acting to directing some stuff, some stage plays as well. I love directing, and I think this is probably why I'm here. Why I'm doing this right now is not for acting. I don't. Obviously, I'm not playing characters, not doing skits, that type of thing. I did like little things, just but not acting.
Hold on. Collectors, curators, acknowledge me. That's acting.
That was fun. Well, even that one, like, I got to. That's why there was the whole like. That's how the behind the scenes thing started. I was doing it, and like Ken's like, "What if people take it too seriously?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you're right. I'll do like I'll shoot it behind the scenes when I'm doing it, so that people know that I'm joking." Or was I? Or was I acting when I said I was joking? So what do you think you would have been perfect for? God, I got cast on so I got cast on a soap opera twice, and I didn't take the role, but I wanted to play Mason Capwell on Santa Barbara, and I was too young, but I was like mentally, yeah, I was perfect for that role. Mason Capwell was the member of the Capwell family that felt like he was a black sheep, that he didn't fit in, that was a bit of a ladies' man, bit of a drinker, and waxed poetic, and was slightly Shakespearean. I did. I turned in on a couple shows. I turned down one for I won't say what the role is, but I turned down one for All My Children, and I turned down one on is it Another World? I think it was Another World. It's been a long time. Anyway, yeah, I was going to college at the time, and what you do. So a lot of the soaps at the time, ones that I was going for, were being shot in Alameda. So what you did was you did a because I was going to college, and I was going to college I was going to do journalism. I had the access to a camera, so and you had the big tapes then, right? So I did like yeah, I did a tape with an audition tape, and I sent it out, and I was my own agent. I basically pretended to be someone else that was my agent, because that's what you got to do, right? You got to get yourself in the door somehow. So I really, really wanted this role on, and they said, "We sent your tape over to this other show." I was heartbroken because they're recasting Mason, and it was I think Terry Lester. Was it Terry Lester or Gordon? I'm not sure. One of them got it anyway. But I wanted it, and they sent it over to another soap, and they said, "Oh, we think you're good for this part." And I don't think I would have been, because I'd seen the other people that played the role, and they were way more handsome and chinny than me. They had like hair, like I had hair then, but I mean they had like the
Yeah.
soap opera hair and the chiseled chin, and I just couldn't picture myself. Like I got sent the script, and I'm like, I can't. But I wouldn't be here right now. I wouldn't be with the person that I'm with. I wouldn't be able to like maybe I'd be able to do stuff differently. But we're going to Italy in November. We got to go to Paris recently, and I'm getting to do it now at a later age. And a lot of people say, "Well, would love to do that when I was young." but I don't know if I would. I think I'm doing things at the time and place them that I want to do them. If that makes any
Yeah.
sense.
Well,
Hopefully that makes
you
sense.
know, everything happens for a reason. You know, sometimes good, sometimes bad, but as long as it leads you in the right place, what does it matter?
I think it does. I mean, like, and you don't see it initially. I used to be like really like dragged out about it. Like, oh man, I could have. What if I would have done this, or what if I would have took that role there, or what would have went on that miniseries? What if I done that? And I'm like, but I didn't. Age like a fine wine. Yeah, well, some people start later when it comes to that stuff, and people ask me now, would you do it now? Would you act now? And because I live in Morocco, there's a film festival here. There's actors here all the time. There's directors here. Paul Schrader was over here last year.
Imagine,
Uh,
imagine. My Scorsese says you wants to put you in his new movie.
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I kind of like the thought of like aside from this, to be honest, Malcolm, I kind of like being on the other side of the camera for that.
Oh, that's
There's a
very
reason I
kind of
haven't
you,
done
sir.
videos as much recently, and that's because I've been trying to learn. Like I talked to Malcolm about this, and I'm trying to learn some things to kind of just to hopefully make my channel better, and just to make myself better because I love to learn stuff. So I've been looking
Yeah.
at like animation stuff. I'm looking at like
Well,
just
what
writing.
Aaron doesn't want to say is two things. Yeah, he took the time to learn that while I was there, but it's because as well, he just didn't feel the students was good without me here with him. There you go.
Part of it is like I do we did. I wanted to do some videos, and I'm like, I want to do this video with Malcolm. I'm gonna wait.
Yeah.
And when like there was a couple things that were there, and I knew that Malcolm was moving and getting stuff ready. And I'm not the guy that's going to be like, hey, I need to do this. You know, you put aside your moving and your life right now to get this done. Like even like this video here tonight, Malcolm was like, I got a bit of time. If you want to make a
Yeah.
video, let's make a video. I kind of want to relax. And so, and I'm like,
Mm,
hell yeah, because I love chatting with Malcolm. I love
yeah.
our conversations, making these videos. But
Yeah.
I'm not going to push for that stuff.
Well, I always say, don't I? I always say we're a team. So,
And it's fun. It's
um,
we have fun with it.
like I s-
And
well, like I said earlier, after this move sorted, upon obviously Aaron with the learning and the videos he's doing, the learning and that. We should be doing videos more often together anyway. Again, it's just been with the move and everything, and all the other stuff with it, but it's just been so stressful. But
and honestly,
it's been really weird because I really miss doing them. You know.
oh, me too. But then and another thing that like I tell you this now, I guess not big. I wasn't feeling well. I was sick.
Yeah.
So I had some like headaches recently, and I think I was drinking enough, and that's why I was getting like these big migraines and stuff. So I was not in my A game, which is takes away from it. So when I did the
Yeah,
video yesterday,
that's something. That's something I always worry about. Um, when you start feeling a bit rough.
yeah,
That's my reasons as well. It's going to sound a bit egotistical, I guess, but that's one of the reasons I like being there as well because I know because we're able to bounce off each other so well. If Aaron's not feeling too good, I can pick up a bit of that slack as Aaron does the exact same thing if I'm not feeling well, and you know,
and we can tell too.
um,
We can tell by each other's like
yeah.
we don't have to
So
like usually.
exactly. So I can normally tell, Aaron can normally tell. But what I'm saying is, it's great that we do these together because it just
Because we want to, and still want like the podcast is the key
mm.
thing. What I want to get, what I
But
want to get
when
toward.
Well,
That's
I think
where
I think what's going to happen. I don't know if this is the full thing, but obviously we're waiting until after I've got my move sorted before
yeah.
we really get that going. But I think what we're going to do as well, guys. I'm not sure if Aaron is free for this, but I think we're going to also make a kind of channel for that as well, so that there's a thing for that as well. And I don't think it's not going to be like here where we're doing like the full videos. They're going to be probably some like excerpts from like the podcast and stuff,
Like
just
when I drop
basically
something
to
here,
help promote it and stuff as
That
well.
haven't even told you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been looking at web pages.
Oh, nice.
So one of the things I've been doing is looking at web page design. So that has been part of the stuff that the part of the things that I've been doing. So
Cool.
yeah, so that's
Cool.
because I think it needs to
Because we want to go full ahead on it, and we want to get it going, and we want you guys to be listened to as well, and be a part of it, as well as hopefully many more people hear about.
Oh no, would not leave YouTube. Like it's not leave YouTube thing. Is it like
No,
it's
we're not
just
leaving YouTube.
it's adding more content so that you
This is
still
basically added to it, kind of thing, and basically being another part. So basically, it's like an extension.
and stuff like that enables us to like go out and like get more stuff and do more things and at times just relax. Because sometimes I need when I got like I've made a couple like recent like video game live streams. And I've done that basically because it takes a bit to come on here and the word and just make get everything set up and make the video and do all that. It's
I think we're building what you guys understand is there's no way we're going to let it. Well, I should say there's no way Aaron's going to be leaving you because I think I'm part of the channel, but Aaron's cult of cinema. So that's why I put myself as cult perversion because I was like, I might as well find something in there.
That's a good. I like that.
So I thought I put cult perversion since everyone keeps asking me if I'm cult of cinema. So Aaron's cult of cinema technically because this is his channel. The extension of the other thing will be basically both of us, but at the same time, I'll still be on here anyway. So
yeah,
it's
like that's the thing is, cult cinema is meant as an idea, as a concept, to pretty much when people were feeling that like the video stores weren't around anymore, like you didn't have people to talk to. I could bring people together and they could talk. And they could just have fun and chat about movies and not have to worry about like, oh, I like this movie and another person likes this movie. Just enjoy that and have fun with that. And that started out like seriously. Like I've been on YouTube for 12 years, but this part of it probably started around like 6-7 years ago. But when Malcolm came out, then it's changed. And as we started to do stuff like the No Name Wrestling podcast and stuff, I started to realize, oh, we got a good chemistry when it comes to this on here. And I don't want it to be boxed into okay, this is my channel, this is my co-host. I wanted to expand it upon that and say, okay, this is an us thing that we do together. And like we still do this, but it's just like it's not like you won't be getting less content, you're getting more content.
Basically in a lot of ways it's Aaron as well saying, look, I'm committed to this team, even though this has been my channel. When we're doing that, we're doing this, and we're working together basically.
Because like it's fun. I mean, like I like doing this, and last year at this time, the other channel's not available yet because we got to get. See, I've been for the No Name Horror one, No Name Wrestling one. I've been like I do up call sheets for it, and I'll pretty much just say, okay, well, this is the topics we're going to talk about. Or we're going to hit this, this, and this, right? Because that's what I used to do when I was in journalism. I used to do it for the radio broadcast that we did.
Two little boys.
Two little boys.
we got to figure out the name of it because that's what we're still working on, Keggy. So.
I'm working on that. Actually. I got some ideas. I'll just float by you very soon. Actually, I've been working on a lot of stuff behind the scenes, because I'm constantly on the go with certain things. And I have been for a lot of people don't know this, and Malcolm doesn't know this actually. But Thought of Cinema itself was supposed to have a website about a year and a half ago,
Ooh.
and it's in the works, but it's not called Coco Cinema.
Oh,
No, it's something completely different. And when I went back to it recently, because I realized I've got to finish it and make it live. Then I said this is the perfect time to start looking at website design and page design because I want one for
yeah,
me and Malcolm, so that we can
yeah,
put the movie podcast there, so that we can
yeah,
put the wrestling podcast there,
yeah.
so we can put links to channel stuff there. And I would like to be able to do some crossover videos so that we have videos that are on this channel that's also on Malcolm's channel,
Yeah, that'd be good.
because I think that it'll be a great way to basically get a crossover audience. One, more
Yeah,
people see Malcolm. Two, more traffic to his channel
yeah,
and to his YouTube channel,
yeah.
and it's then and and it's a great mix.
And hopefully
So
keep building it off of each other, so it's what I mean, because
like I wanted to do like a tour, and when Malcolm said, I'm looking at houses," I put the tour thing on back, and
yeah, that's true.
so because I knew, I said, okay, Malcolm's going to move. He's eventually going to be situating his films again. Once he gets it situated, what'd be an amazing idea to do that
Oh,
video on Malcolm's channel
yeah, that's true.
and him tour, and I'll just be there. So then I'm on his channel as
Yeah,
coasting from there. And videos like that, crossovers there, that can we can highlight them. We can give. I was just telling him, yeah, exactly. But the podcast, I want to get it right. Like we've been looking at like banning about it, like ideas. Oh well, guest is something that is definitely a possibility for certain things. I want.
yeah. I think that's something we will do. I think what's going to happen is, I think what we want to do is we want to get situated where we've actually got basically a few in the bank kind of thing, where it's what do you call it, and then I think it'd be great to have you on track.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like
You know,
to get that flow down. It's the important
yeah,
thing now. Like we've got it here. Like I think it goes pretty well here. We've got it on the No Name Wrestling podcast, which is I think can be hilarious sometimes. And ironically,
right,
as much as Malcolm is the cloud perversion guy right here, on the No Name Wrestling podcast, I think he admit I'm more of a dick when it
yeah,
comes to
true, true.
to that. It's just different parts of my personality come out, at different times. But because you're much more the diplomat sometimes. I'm like,
Plus,
no,
you got to understand, guys. One of my favorite hobbies at times is to infuriate people when it comes to things. So I'll say something like, "No, no, 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 I don't think that's true." Right, and all this, and then the person goes, "Oh, what you think this?" And then it comes out as a joke, so it's funny. It's I like it.
right. I mean, certain people I would interview. I'll be honest with you. I get not a lot of screaming, but I get a lot of again. I did journalism, and I'm signed up with. So I get like requests all the time when it comes to, but usually it's not in my wheelhouse. So I don't get a lot when it comes to like a lot of scream queens and actors and stuff like that. I get a lot of like influencers, authors, and a lot of other like they just really haven't fit in yet.
Yeah, a
But
bit
it
like that
depends
Black
on.
Mask one, right? I can't remember who did that, but he had the book.
She was so Terrace Marie. No, that book, her story, like because there's a girl that has gone clinically blind, and
Wow, really?
yeah, and so she is decided to become an author. Beautiful woman too, but like if you've seen the picture,
Yeah, I saw
um,
pictures of it. Gorgeous.
and so she writes this book, and I'm reading the first page, and it's really raunchy, like modern day romance stuff tends to
Have
be.
Jamie Lee Curtis on.
Uh,
Yeah, that's going to happen.
I wish. That's a dream, man. But yeah, but she and I was supposed to interview her. I was supposed to get her in for an interview, and I haven't yet. But I really wish I would have. I felt almost intimidated.
Okay.
But because I really did dig what she was doing, and I'm like, I think that book is now becoming a movie or a miniseries, and I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
That's
Makes
pretty
total sense.
cool. That's pretty cool. It was her first book, wasn't it?
It's the first book.
That's pretty
Um,
impressive.
it kind of like it was well done. I mean, like it's a romance book, but it's got like the kind of adventure. There's kind of like there's like a mob boss, and there's like art theft and all this stuff going on. I thought it was really good. It's a really good book, actually.
Going back to the podcast thing, I think Peel Like the Nate Quigley and that would come on the podcast if we got some traction, like some good traction. I think they would come on.
Yeah.
Because that's what they want, especially if you've got like a website and stuff and they see you're quite professional with what you're doing. They would come on.
Well, like right now, like I'm friends with Jose, who's a filmmaker, Master Cast, a lot of you guys out there. And he was, we did a movie. It was nice. I had, I had Harry Manfredini on.
Really excellent.
Yeah. Had a bunch of people in for that one. I actually really enjoyed that one. Jamie Blanks found my channel. Got the director of Urban Legend and Valentine. He's been on my channel twice, and yeah, like once we get stuff straightened away, less people that could be on our podcast.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
like
I think that would work out really well.
It's more of a domino effect. Like, I'm my own worst enemy when it comes to stuff like that, and that I'll second guess myself or I'll stop myself. But I'm great when it comes to other people's pushing other people to do stuff. But when it's me and someone else,
yeah, I think you have to be careful with interviewing, because I think if you interview people just for the sake of interviewing them,
yeah,
I think it can thingy. Now, if that's what your goal is, if that's something that someone's do, like prime example is Benet. He interviews people.
Like that's just what he does. His job.
That's his thing, and he does a really good job at it. And I see him do fantastic work there. But I think when you do like a podcast thing, you want to interview people that are connected to what you're going to be talking about.
It has to be organic. Like it can't be like a regular. It wouldn't be like a regular thing. Like I wouldn't go on like, okay, this week we're interviewing this person.
That's what I mean.
But it would have to be organic to what we're doing, because there has to be times where we just hopefully one of the things that people see or hear when they listen to it or watch it, whatever, depending on if we film it or not, is that it's the back and forth that people tend to get into. So
that's the key. That's the key. The rest is the bonus, isn't it?
Exactly. So for me, it's like it's interesting to get like actors or writers, directors in for certain things, but I'd be more interested in getting in somebody else, like getting in a track, getting in a Maddie, getting someone like on a certain specific topic that they're passionate about, because that's when I think you really get when it really gets good, and that way bounce off of like our what we chat with. Hopefully that makes more sense. Hopefully you guys are excited. You get excited about that.
Yeah.
Like we've done some work on it. I'm gonna. I think I'll end it here because we've gone on for over 3 hours. And
thanks, Darth. Thanks. I'll let you know how it goes.
But I want to thank everybody for coming in. We guys will keep you updated. I maybe threw Malcolm a bit when I told him about the website, because I didn't tell him before.
Good. No, but I'm quite excited by that, actually.
I think it's our best way to go, and I've been looking at a few different ones. So
I think so, because it'll also come up in search engines and stuff. So it's it's always a plus. Thanks, Trek.
Thanks, once Kubrick. We do, once we get there, man, like it's the thing. I want to see us on Spotify, man. I want to get the thumbnail. Then we're both on the thumbnail.
That's gonna be incredible. It's gonna be great.
All right. Again, I want to thank everybody that came in today. Have a wonderful evening. We'll be making the some videos coming up soon.
Got a towel.
Malcolm's got some moving to do. Pixie just jumped on my lap. So have a wonderful evening, guys. And
Looked like his tentacle hit you in the face, and it was quite funny.
there we go. Okay. See you soon.